What? Okay. The YouTubes. My channel. It's already quiet. Let's go here. Pop out chat. Hello, Marlene. Hello, David and Stanley. It is werewolf time. All right, perfect. I realize I'm wearing too many shirts. I'm going to step off camera, change my shirt. I'm back. All right, so I have a couple things to do. When I set up, I'm going to do werewolves tonight, yes. But first, I have to pour up a shark. So I thought that you guys would find that interesting because there's a shark involved. This is our new shipping station. Isn't it fancy? And over here is our non-fancy pouring station. I'll make the pouring station fancy eventually. But right now, kind of just needed to get the shipping station done.
Hey Alex, will Vaseline work as a release for a two-part foam in a fiberglass mold?
Yes. Yes, it will work. I prefer Johnson's paste wax, but Vaseline works fine in fiberglass as a release. So here is.
Watched Motel Hell.
I watched Motel Hell a long time ago. Here is the shark mold, all cleaned out. I'm going to set it down for a minute while I figure out how exactly I'm going to pour it up.
I'm going to fix your camera.
How's that? I need a half bucket. I'll be right back.
Vaseline won't mess with the foam?
No, it will not.
Did you get that, Justin?
All the Vaseline will do is make your foam harder to paint. The foam will make your, the Vaseline will make your foam harder to paint, so you have to clean it off before you can, paint and do that kind of stuff. All right. So, I've never poured this up before. I do not expect the first pull to be perfect. The mold kind of teaches you how to pour it up.
Will paste wax make it hard to paint as well?
Yes, but I found it's not as bad. Okay, I want to give myself enough room to move this around and try and get air bubbles out of the teeth. Of course, I'm worried the most about the top teeth because they're harder to reach. Hello, Psycho Axeman.
You don't do a slush cast?
No, I do what's called a dwell. I fill it all the way to the top and then let it go.
Plastic Pug says hello. Condon says hello.
Hello.
Weston Hill.
Hello.
Walker Masks. Hello from Scotland. I don't see the dog Boris. Should be sleeping.
Boris is here somewhere.
Hugo from Brazil. He is in here.
Probably in the other room, yeah. Doing dog stuff.
They're getting ready for a nap.
You might see Cheney as he cruises by. Nope, you missed it. He was under the camera radar. This one, I didn't paint it in or anything. I want to see what I have to do. What will this mold make me do to pour it up? Okay, if we hear a crashing noise from the other room, we're just going to ignore it. But I will close this door. All right, shark is poured up. That is the first shark.
One joke and I'm done. Ready? Ross Riker.
Go ahead, Ross.
Steve Haynes, can't wait to see your new food delivery video. Hope you get more interesting vegetables.
Man, I don't like vegetables because of the crunch. If they're cooked to death where they're soft, I like them.
My favorite part of the YouTube day, Professor Hops is once again instructing a lab at the University of Pontemnacia. I'm trying. School of Advanced Mass Theory. That's great. Hey, Ezekiel.
Well, we'll see about that.
Psycho Axeman says, I usually dump it half in, slush it around, pour it back in the bucket, then refill it with latex, then wait 30 minutes.
I don't do that. Normally I fill it about a third, and then I paint it in, and then I fill it all the way. But I just want to see. It's the very first one I've done of the shark, so I just fill it in latex. Because that'll tell me how careful I have to be in the future. It might end up telling me all you have to do is pour this up.
Say hello to Rodney Pope.
Hello, Rodney Pope.
Laura Kirchable.
Hello, Laura Kirchable.
True story on veggies. Alan Hops once asked a waitress to bake his salad to take the crunch away.
I asked her to microwave it. I asked her to wilt it in the broiler. And it was fine after that. Once the crunch left, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was weird.
I always watch the streams after they've been live, and the playback is available to watch. This is my first time to actually make it here when it's live. This is Nightmare Fuel Studio.
Well, Nightmare Fuel, I hope you're not disappointed in the live.
Ross Reichert. Did you hear the wheat and pine straw industry went broke? The government said they're going to bail them out.
Angrily throwing things away.
Psycho Axeman says I always get air bubbles in the undercuts.
Yeah, that's why I try to brush. And so here's the thing: the shark teeth are triangular. So if I filled it on its side, as that level of latex went up, the air could smoothly go out. If I filled it straight up and down, then the air can have a little pocket to hide in. So I tried to tilt it a bit when I was pouring it. We'll see if that helps. This is a different project that I have and I haven't done yet. But I have everything here for this project. It's installing a light outside. I'm going to do it.
I'm never disappointed in the live. I always watch the playbacks while I'm working on stuff.
But now we can talk. We can converse. That's got to be better.
Stacy was commenting on the shipping station. How good it is.
It is a nice looking shipping station. If I could pour up a mask by just putting latex in it, then always go the easiest way possible. That first pour teaches you what you have to do, how hard you've got to work to get that mask. Now I know that the Gravedigger, all I got to do is dump latex in it. No bubbles, no nothing. He works just fine. As you get all the way up to the top, you got to push in behind the ears, or else you'll get some bubbles back here on the back of the ear. Okay. So I showed you guys my eyeball drawer a while ago. I had to take out my eyeball case, which is completely different from my eyeball drawer. These won't fit in the case, in the drawer. So these are in the case.
What is the difference between the spray socks and the head socks you use?
Spray socks are a very quickly made head sock. The material's also thicker, but it grabs the latex better. But it's just a square, so you have some weird folds and seams to handle. Normally you can just latex them down flat, so it's not that big of a deal anyway.
Did you remind AXA to set a 2-hour timer?
Of course I did. Alexa, set a 2-hour timer, please.
2 hours, starting now.
Would a vacuum pump aid in the bubbles being removed below the pore surface? Obviously I've never done it.
A vacuum pump? Probably not, because it's not drawing the bubble to the surface. It is, we have a glass underwater, you know how that holds air? Well, no matter how much you vacuum, it's not going to force that bubble through the glass. So it's not going to force the bubble out of a pocket it's settled in. What would probably help is a pressure pot to make the bubbles small. But it's just not worth it. Just pour up carefully. This is the Pond Guy magazine.
This is the boring part of the mask.
It is kind of the boring part of mask making.
You can also slosh some water into the mold, pour it out, then dwell the latex, and it will help draw the latex into the undercut area a little more, I believe, per an old email from Alan.
If your mold is not getting thick enough. So, see this contraption I had to resort to making today? I had this tubing, and because I wanted to get up in there and spray up in those teeth to help clean them out, but the bottle was too big, so I cut the back of the bottle off, and ooh, that's my TV I just splurted. Now, anyway, yeah, but this sucker worked pretty good. I will keep it around.
Very good. Beautiful eyes in your eyeballs. Only if it's distilled water.
It doesn't matter in the mold itself, simply because you're not worried about clumps. Distilled is because of clumping. You don't want clumping.
That's a great bit of engineering.
It was necessary engineering. I did say we're going to work on werewolf stuff, and we are going to work on werewolf stuff. We just have to get clean enough to work on werewolf stuff. Once again, I started the live before I was ready. I'm sure you're all shocked. And I already know, like, the next time that I can work on Alan's stuff, I know what I'm asking. I'm going to give you guys a choice again. And I think a choice of 3 is good.
I was just wondering how Rob is doing. The shop seems a bit empty without him there. He gets razzed a lot, but he seems like a really good guy.
He is a good guy. Hold on. He's definitely Rob. I'm having fewer people over I'm having less people over less often. So there is stuff that we have to do. Is my business essential? No. But I can do a lot of it. My house is 100 feet that way. I can do a lot of it right here. Having other people over, I don't know how responsible that is, and I wanna be careful, you know. I'm not just. It's me and my wife here. So if someone comes over, then it is whoever else they have hung out with in that time too. You just gotta be careful.
Hi, Connie. It's good to be here. What's the best way to stop a two-piece mold from leaking?
Honestly, put it together and then paint the inside of the seam with latex and wait like 30 minutes. Then take latex acrylic caulk, the cheapest kind of caulking that there is, and caulk that seam from the outside. Wait 30 minutes. You could do both those at the same time because they're separate animals. Wait 30 minutes for that caulking to seal up, and then wait for that latex to kind of dry inside, and then pour it up.
Psycho says it's the honest side of business. Much love from California.
It's kind of necessary. I'm not essential. I chose to make monsters for a living. Forrest, don't eat that.
That's Bella.
But Bella, don't eat that. Go on. They chew on plaster like it's made of alcohol. Where's she at now? What is she doing?
Chewing on the desk.
Okay, you can eat the desk. That's fine. Oh. So, yeah.
Hey guys, you're back on. Awesome. Glad to see you all doing well.
We are on. What was it? 2 nights I haven't been on? 2 nights.
Laura says, why are y'all always picking on Bella?
Bella, out of that. Don't eat those gloves.
Why are we always picking on Bella, says Laura.
We pick on Bella. She is the devil.
She's
That is
the
why we pick
devil.
on her.
Hey, buddy.
And Boris is here.
I bet hairdressers will be called essential from now on, I hope. Steve Payne.
Look at me, man. I am certainly in need of some work.
Hello, line cook for 2006, Jamie Thaxton.
Hello. We're gonna work on some werewolves. I just have to get clean enough to work on werewolves.
Amy Reed.
What?
Laura, they're missing you. That's why they're practicing on Bella. Hi, Lisa. Happy Saturday. Bravo, bravo. About a week away from growing my own anime hair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to that myself. It's I didn't realize how often I get haircuts or how short I normally keep it. I normally get a haircut right before Trans World, and I didn't. Trans World didn't happen, and I should have taken that window to get the haircut anyway, and I did not. And I used to kind of like make fun of guys with short hair. Like, oh man, my hair's getting long. Just like as long as their finger width. And they're like, oh, and now I'm like, oh, my hair's getting long. It's a little unruly for me.
Alan, you and Shannon are filling a truly essential role in our world, whether you think so or not. Thanks for what you do. It makes isolation much more fun.
I'm glad of that. Anything that I can do to make that happen.
Full-blown homeless hairstyle here, Ezekiel.
I hear you.
Hello, Boris and friends. You go.
It might just be a new like look that comes into fashion, you know.
Stacy says you can see how tall Tony is right now.
Oh, like that in height and hair. That's great.
Put in a faux hawk.
Okay. I now have some room.
Spastic Pug says I'm getting to look like one of the Beatles.
Nothing wrong with looking like one of the Beatles. Frank, you hang out over here.
Hairstyle's okay, it's just the runaway beard that's annoying, says Ezekiel. Lisa says, yes, keeping the gray. You know what, I bet a lot of people are going to, because, you know, everybody's, you know, been without their stylist now.
They're no longer getting their dues did.
Yeah, but I don't know that it's as important anymore.
All right, so I have to grab a piece of foam real quick because I got to make some werewolf ears.
Ezekiel says, I think that's a stretch from stylist is a stretch.
Turn the corner here. Right here is where my foam is. I'm going to take this, go to the filing cabinet. Where is my filing cabinet? I'm rearranging a lot of things, so I don't even know where my filing cabinet is, but I found it. This is the part where it's messy before it's clean. There's like the fridge is now right here. It's in the second room around the corner. There's a little coffee maker and an ice machine, and that'll be like a little kitchenette type area, which will clear up space in the other room for monster stuff. This says Werewolf 2018, and it's Stacy's writing. This should say Moving Jaw Werewolf. But it has the ear template I need.
Everyone needs some PDA foam in their lives.
We do. We really, really do. Bella, out of there. Thank you. Just kind of mopes in, turns around, mopes back out. Trying to slide in under the radar. Oh, where she went. Okay. Moving Jaw Werewolf.
Stacy says, hey, I write what you tell me.
I'm just saying that the reason why I'm being very careful with Moving Jaw Werewolf 2018, there's actually a Werewolf 2018I and a 2018A over at Dark Hour. And if those molds ever come here, that's the taxonomy I will use to name those molds. The I is for Ian, who sculpted one, and Alan, who sculpted one. Pretty much every year, me and Ian would each sculpt a werewolf for the July show.
My monster crafts take up the whole living room.
Good. Who was that?
Because, that's
What's that?
Ingrid Jamasta. I'm trying.
One more time? I just want to hear you say that again.
I can't. You'll have to run it. You'll have to scroll it back. You do it.
All right, I'm going to try and read a name that has stumped my wife.
There you go. Right there.
Ingbird Ninja Master. Ingbird Ninja Master. That is my take.
Goodness.
That's my take on it. Psycho X Man,
Thank you.
you are a very kind dude. I appreciate that. Now, all right. So what that is Super Chat, and I looked this up. If you have a message, because his message will stay up there for a while. He doesn't write anything, he just sends money, which I appreciate. But if he had a message that he wanted to put out, when you get a real busy YouTube channel with a lot of people watching live feeds and stuff, then you might have a message that you want to stay and be seen, because they do scroll by pretty quick. That is what Super Chat was invented for.
Hello, Warren, Third Degree of Terror.
But Psycho, you're very kind.
What all molds do you have on the table?
Molds on, in the other room. Those are all for orders. Let's look. Gravedigger, Shark, Three Finger, Grouch, Carnivore.
Carnivore is for spastic pug.
The Carnivore is for Spastic Pug.
The Grinch is for Stanley Shriven.
Okay.
And the Gravedigger, well, I'm not sure how many Gravediggers we have ready to go, so.
It's one of the people who ordered a Gravedigger.
Lisa Aaron, I just told my husband Alan and Shannon are on. I'm ordering pizza. Oh, Lisa, I got your email about to take care of you. Thank you so much. Dear Master Alan,
Oh,
when you can, display the Nosferatu. I would be happy. It doesn't have to be this time.
I will display it.
He is in the
He's in the booth building.
booth building.
Maybe I could con my wife into putting away Frankenstein and Squidface and bringing
Mind Flayer.
Nosferatu. Mind Flayer, that's right.
Do you have a full zombie outfit?
Do I have a full zombie outfit? I have one for me. I don't have one like here. I keep one in my office at dark hour because it's always appropriate to go into the show as a zombie.
Nosferatu? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Nosferatu. There should be two. There's a black and white and a color. I'm just cutting out my werewolf ears. Like you do. Okay, am I missing anything? Do I own a full zombie outfit? Yes. I don't have one here. But yeah, I mean, zombie cop, that's always just fun, you know? And I have a mask so that I can go from being a manager guy and then in 10 minutes I'm a zombie guy. That's kind of nice. Hello, Sean Regal. What is the red mask in the background? The one over there. I got that today from a friend of mine. I'll show it to you. At one point in time, this was going to be a licensed mask, but it didn't happen. It fell through. This is the Bram Stoker's Dracula in a helmet mask.
His armor.
In his armor. He had that wolf armor,
Muscle armor.
and I really like it.
My wife wants you to have it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a repaint on this, punch it up, add in some. I mean, it's just painted red. I mean, that's it. So I'm gonna paint in some detail and stuff on it, and I'll probably display it over at the house. I'm not a mask collector by any means, but I did want to have this.
Psycho Axeman says it's for the class. He's very efficient. I feel like when a live stream is so busy, you can't read any messages being sent, that it defeats the purpose of the chat. Spastic Pug.
Almost, yeah. The most we have on this channel is about 100 people, and honestly, only about 20 or so actually comment. We have a lot of lurkers, and we have more lurkers than I thought. I'm not going to name names, very kind people. Some people sent some presents for the puppies, and we greatly appreciate that. I mean, that's happened a couple times. They'll send treats or toys or whatever for the puppies. That's very nice. Ooh, Nosferatu's here. Nosferatu mask.
It's for Hugo.
Hugo wanted to see it. This is the black and white version.
Show the back for the sock.
Yeah, and it's a sock mask, so this is all fabric back here. Sock masks are very comfortable. So there you go. That is a Nosferatu mask. Wife says I should put him on the shipping table so nothing happens to it. Because she don't trust me.
I don't. I do, but I don't.
I understand. I wouldn't trust me either.
I've heard YouTube keeps half of the super chat money.
No, they don't keep half of the super chat money. I think it's like 10 or 12%. It's really, it's not that much. That I know of.
Steve Haynes. I just sneezed in public. I hope to be out of jail soon.
Yeah,
Good luck.
yeah, I bet you got tased. That's what I would have done. Tased you.
What is the best adhesive for gluing items to a latex mask?
Contact cement. Hands down. Contact cement.
Sean Regal, we ship you out next week. You are ready to go.
Oh, Sean gets shipped next week.
Sean gets shipped. I packed him up today. Big Dog, hello. Stopping by to say hi. What is the red mask in the background? You already
I showed that.
explained that one. Good morning, Richard McGrath. I believe you're in England. Is that right?
Good morning.
Hello, hello, Dracula. Oh, snaps. I have a full zombie outfit. Oh, wait. I just haven't bought new clothes in a while.
Yeah. That's how it is, kind of. You got that quarantine zombie outfit.
Lisa, I love that movie too. It's awesome. Hello, Paul Rhodes. Thomas R. I have a project, a life-size 8-foot alligator in human sitting pose, suspended above patrons outdoors, so being light is essential. Foam with thin skin, must be durable. Any thoughts? Fiberglass?
Hold on.
Have a project, a life-size 8-foot alligator in a human sitting pose, suspended above patrons outdoors. So being light is essential. Foam with thin skin, must be durable. Any thoughts? Fiberglass?
I would do carved styrofoam with a polyurea coating. That is what I would do. If that does not make sense, then you could message me and I will give more detail.
Where do you buy the black sock masks?
You can. I buy them by the buttload from China, okay, because of how many I use. But if you don't want to buy them by the buttload from China, then you could. They sell them on Amazon in onesie, twosie, threesies, and they're like $5 or $6 a piece. They're really not that expensive.
Have you pulled the shark yet?
I have not pulled the shark yet. I actually poured up the shark at the beginning of this video. It was my intent to pour it yesterday, but that did not happen because of who I am as a person.
Hello, Joshua Howard. We're almost done with your order. I believe that we have an inbred for you that needs to pool, and you will be ready to go. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? I should probably go check that inbred. I bet I could pull it.
Yeah, everything else for Joshua Howard is ready to go.
I gotta spread this around.
What are you making tonight, Alan?
I'm working on some werewolves for orders. I'll be herring werewolves this evening.
How much does the class cost? Talk about-
Monster Camp is $550. That is 3 days of class. You leave with a mask you made, the mold you made, and a sculpting bust to make more.
Meals are included.
Oh, and meals are included in that. What you'll have to pay for is transportation to get here, as well as hotel. Because you may not sleep on the lawn. People have asked.
Hello, Horror Beauty.
Hello.
I have a really nice zombie costume to go along with my mask from Basement FX.
Cool.
Thank you for subscribing. Did I miss Megalodand?
It got poured up today. Like, first thing on the video, I poured it up. Alexa, countdown, 10 minutes.
Second timer, 10 minutes. Starting now.
I'm going to make sock masks like you did the other night. Joshua Howard, are you going to make sock masks with the blanks that you ordered?
Cool.
Because he ordered 3 blanks, and
Cool.
so, yeah, the sock mask, I think he'll like it. My son wants to know if you ever made a Predator-type mask.
I have. Actually, if you go back at look at my videos, I did a whole Predator costume build. So I built a Predator. I did a build-up Predator mask. So I kind of built it from scratch. I didn't even sculpt it. It's all EVA foam and contact cement and other things.
Lockhart, hello. I need to add to my order monster hand blanks and a chisel tooth blank. Hey, I just put that's Locke, Pierce, and Connie. I just put your original, you got the original Gravedigger, you were the first, so you have the original costume and mask, and I put that together today. So if you want to go ahead and order that off of the website, I will just put it in your parcel. Everything is ready to go whenever.
And then we'll refund shipping because they're going to pick up.
Yeah, and when you do, I'll just refund shipping for you. So go ahead and order it, and then I'll just send the shipping back because you're going to pick it up in person, and you're good to go. I can always refund shipping if you're going to come to the house or we're going to meet you. So go ahead and do that, Lockhart, and I'll take care of you. Got you done today. That's so good. Lurker Scott is listening. Scott Little, are you the Scott Little that I met at Transworld, who does the charity haunt, and we were going to try and come train for you?
I
Same
believe
Scott
so.
Little?
I believe so. How many Scott Littles can there be who
I
are haunted house
don't,
people?
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
What?
Oh,
What?
Psycho Axe Man, you take my breath away.
Psycho Axeman, what kind of werewolf? What type of
I don't know
werewolf?
what to do.
This is the moving jaw werewolf. This one happens to be mounted on a helmet because of how this one's getting done.
Oh my goodness.
This one's going to be a little bit different than normal. But, yes. Yeah, so now, Psycho Axeman's how much is a werewolf question. We'll answer that. Honey, how much is the moving jaw werewolf? 175?
It's 175. He's a special right now for Transworld.
Moving jaw is 175. That's the Transworld price that we're leaving up until I remember to tell wife to change it. And then there are several Wolfman varieties. There's a 125 Wolfman that you'll see tonight. That's Wolfman 2020. And then there's the jawless werewolf. We do a lot of Wolfman stuff. So there's a bunch.
Goodness, takes my breath away. I'm making a full baby out of latex. I'm going to fill it. I want it to be kind of soft. What do you recommend filling it with?
You're making a baby out of latex, and you want it to be soft. So you're making a latex skin. I would foam fill it with probably 3-pound foam. That's about the softest, least dense foam you can get. That is a flexible foam. So I would use 3-pound foam. And I just bought some 3-pound foam, and one night this week, I'm going to make a molding buck of the Gravedigger to make sure I can make more molds of that. A molding buck is just like one of these guys. Okay? This way, when I need more of this elf mask, I just mold this. And then I have a mold to make more of these. It's foamed. This is a soft foam on the inside. This is a 3-pound foam.
What part of the country are you guys in?
We're in the Dallas, Texas area. So, honey, I believe Psycho Axeman just bought a moving jaw werewolf.
What color?
What color hair do you want on it?
What were his options?
Black, gray, brown, cinnamon, white.
Did you say
Black, gray, brown, white, cinnamon. But if you wanted a purple werewolf, I would figure something out.
you would take a white and you would airbrush it.
Yes, exactly. With the alcohol-based ink. I'm waiting on the contact cement to dry for these ears. These ears. These ears have heard a lot of howls, but never going to hear a howl like they have with you.
Tell them about your movie this afternoon.
Oh man, I watched the worst movie.
Tell them how it came about.
The worst movie I've seen since Platypossum. It showed up on my Amazon Prime as a recommendation when I was working on the shark. I'm cleaning clay out of the shark teeth. So I'm looking at shark movies, shark monster movies. And it was Post-Apocalyptic Commando Shark is the name of the movie on Amazon Prime. And good movie. Well, no, it's not a good movie. Terrible movie. Post-Apocalyptic Commando Shark. Good cover. Terrible actual movie. Okay. Honey, we have a question in orange that I cannot see.
Stand by.
My wife says stand by.
Wait for me. There you are. I'm processing Psycho Axeman. I
Okay,
need him
take a
to
look at
be-
the screen.
I need him to be where I can see him. So stand by, please.
I'm going to try and, I'm going to pull that. Okay.
I've got it. Just give me a second. He's not going. No one's going anywhere. I got it. Okay. Did you answer the full baby latex?
Yes.
Okay. What part of the country's in? Hello. Psycho Axeman says, "What's your creation? I like the moving jaw."
Moving
And
jaw is pretty awesome. I ain't gonna lie.
Says, "Whatever your vision is." Oh,
Okay, cool.
Brandon D, thank you. How would you go about making a lion's mane or other long hair features for a costume? Thank you for everything you folks do.
You tuned in on the right night
Well, you did.
because I'm actually going to do long hair on both this mask and this Wolfman 2020 mask tonight. These are going to have long hair on them. The only difference that I would do if I was making like a lion's mane, which I've actually made lion masks, I would probably do something like an EVA foam bumper or ring and maybe pad that out with some fiber fill and pantyhose. Does that make sense? And then hair on top of that. Because getting that kind of volume out of just hair is a little bit harder. You really have to tease the heck out of it. And you can do that and then spray it. Or you can make a nice bumper for it so that when you attach the hair, it's already full. So that is probably what I would do. But you'll see me hair this one and this one today with long hair. You know what? I need something else from the Werewolf 2020.
So.
I need to do a fabric piece on this to attach that hair to.
I'll be dropping you a
I
message.
don't.
I just googled polyurea.
Polyurea.
Sure, that's not what you meant.
It's a polyurea coating.
Thomas R., this is for you.
A polyurea coating. U-R-E-A. Yeah.
Okay, now guys.
But shoot me a message because I can send you links and stuff. It's a very common coating for styrofoam props and effects. When I worked at a shop that did that stuff in Orlando, we used it all the time. It takes a special sprayer. You might have to have a company come out and do it, but that's going to be your best bet. Because you can sculpt out of styrofoam, but then you're going to have a hard time fiberglassing it because the fiberglass eats the styrofoam. So it all depends.
If I had a penny for every Psycho Axeman donation, I would budget for my font. For my movie.
Who said that?
Spastic pun.
Psycho Axeman is very kind.
Very kind. Scott Creighton, hello.
Hey again, Scott. Good to see you on.
Good. Okay, so the answer was whatever your vision is. So you're
Okay.
going to make a special creation for Psycho Axeman.
And because he's so nice, I'll throw in gloves for him. That way you have a suit.
Matching gloves.
It's very easy to do a, shirt and pants. Or are you a display guy? Because if you think you're only going to display it, I'll put eyes in it, and that way it'll look nice. I know what I mean.
Yeah, let us know, Psycho Axeman, and we'll know so I can add that to his kick list. I keep a list for everything Alan needs to make, and because of that,
And you are unorthodox in your ordering, sir.
I definitely need to know the details so that I can get that to him. Michelle Schulte, I really would like to get a suit soon for the wolf. Going to be on the site anytime soon. The hair suits?
It'll probably be a month or two before they're on the site. I have to make sure that I can. Alexa, stop. I'm working with another company to get the suits made because I don't have a facility for that here overseas. So the problem is, as soon as I got it set up and ready to go, we lost all supply chains. So I don't want to put them on the site until I'm ready to take those orders. I've got maybe like 20 or 30 suits here, but if I let it out, then it's going to pop up big time, and I will run out of stock. So I don't want to do that.
But we will get you. Stay
Honey,
with
what
us.
what is that moving thing?
Stay with us, Michelle. We'll get you one.
Okay. Yes.
Stay with us, Michelle. We'll get you one.
Yeah, we'll get you set up.
I love
I just want to check this.
Psycho Axeman says, I love blood and guts, drooling blood snot.
Heck yes. Write extra bloody gory on it.
Okay.
We can do that. That'll be fun. I have a pretty good sized head. I'm just making sure. Yeah, I'm just making sure that this will fit a person without me having to open the back up.
And I thought Velocipaster was a bad movie. John Royski, it was a bad movie.
Oh,
Have you ever done...
post-apocalyptic commando shark. Do not recommend.
And yet you threw a fit.
I did, because I wanted to buy it for $1.99, rent it from Amazon Prime, and Shannon said no. And I'm like,
no.
okay, fine. So I didn't, and I complained about it. And then I ended up getting it and watching it, and I had to watch the whole thing then because I championed it like a fool. It was terrible.
You don't watching that.
Right.
Have you ever done anything for the show X-Files?
I don't do any movie stuff. I'm a haunted house guy. I make stuff for haunted houses all over the country. Name a haunted house, I might have made something for it. But I don't do movie stuff per se.
Watch The Giant Claw from 1957. If you haven't seen it, it'll put you in hysterics.
I have seen the giant claw with his googly-eyed bird monster.
What all comes with the hairy suits?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends because you could just buy the hair suit by itself, and then it's a hairy suit, which looks great. Or you could buy a full costume, like a troll, which has a mask and gloves and the hairy suit. And the hair on this is actually going to match one of our brown hair suits that is going to go with this costume here. Does that make sense? So you'll see it in a bit.
I need some Papa Chop style sideburns. That would be cool. Says G. Brandon D, excellent. That makes sense. Thank you. I tried teasing links of yarn, and this is about the lion's mane.
Yarn, yeah, no. And let me show you a product here in a minute.
Faux fur is about 3-inch ply. Hair extensions seem to be the way to go.
Hair extensions are the way to go, and that's what I'm going to use on this.
Gabrielle Baker, hello.
What's that?
Gabrielle Baker, hello. Thank you, Brandon D. Another donation.
Hello, Gabrielle.
Okay, Psycho Axeman says he is a collector.
Okay, so I'll throw eyes in this then. And if you want it foam filled so it sits as a bust, I can make it into a bust, no problem.
Psycho Axeman, I've got your address and information. I know how to get you, so we got you. Where can I find 3 pounds of foam, on the internet or Home Depot?
It's not 3 pounds of foam, it is 3 pound foam. What that means is that for every cubic foot of foam that there is, all right, for every cubic foot of foam, it'll weigh, cubic foot, 3 pounds. So that is how foam is described, and Biddy Mold Supply is the company that you are looking for. Biddy Mold Supply.
B-I-T-Y.
B-I-T-Y. They sell the 3 pound foam.
While you're waiting for that to stick, when you're done, take a second and show our friends more dogs.
Show them the dogs?
Yes.
Okay. Are we sure they want to see dogs? They came here for monsters, wife.
Cute puppies, belly up like dead fish, might be what the world needs right now.
What the world needs now.
It's belly up.
Puppies.
Belly up, puppies.
Fish death. This is my shop help. Working hard here at the shop. They are sacked completely out. 1 puppy, 2 puppy, 3 puppy. I think it just started raining.
Storm is coming. Stormy night.
Brace yourself, a storm is
We
coming.
are snug in the shop. Okay, I said Psycho Axeman is a collector. You're putting on the ears. Thank you for 3 pounds. Saving money for a full Bigfoot. I display him year round. I live in Washington. I'm in Bigfoot's backyard.
Awesome.
That is so fun. Werewolf 2000 is a great mask. Do you mean 2020, Scott?
2020, yeah, Werewolf 2020. Werewolf 20,000, I wasn't as good before, so, yeah.
Flying monkeys. Flying monkeys sucked. Is that a movie?
I haven't seen a movie called Flying Monkeys. There's a movie that has really good flying monkeys in it. Brendan Fraser is in it. Inkheart. Inkheart. Look up the flying monkeys in Inkheart. I love them. Okay, had to get my werewolf ears on.
I wonder, have you ever made anything for our pond? Screams in the dark. Just wondering. Screams in the dark.
I don't know. They would have bought for me at Transworld or MHC or one of the other shows that I attend and sell at. This year is really I buy, I sell through Facebook Messenger and stuff, but this year is the first year we've really had a website and have kicked it up. So.
Have you ever made anything for Field and Streams or Spook Haven?
Yes, I have.
How do you hair the suit?
It is this kind of hair. Right there.
Come on, the Forbes.
Just got this in a little while ago.
I'm glad you got the belt.
Yeah. Here's some dark brown. But this is the product you want for your lion's mane. It is hair weave hair. Is Scott Colhart on? Okay. He is there. He just added a link to 3 pound foam. He is a good man. Make sure the 3 pound foam is a flexible foam. It'll say F or an R. R means rigid. It's not flexible. If you want a soft moving baby, you want the flexible foam. Just make sure of that. Scott Colhart is the link master. He is very good about, like he has the link to this hair where you can just go and buy it. I buy it, again, I buy in bulk, so that's not always the best option for you guys if you're not going to buy, 20 or 30 packs.
Hello, Linda Forbes. Spastic Pug. I've spent an embarrassing amount of time watching Turkish knockoff movies.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome. Hello, Stacy Burt.
Hello.
Hi, Scott. Thank you for being here, Scott.
Scott
So-
is the man.
He is. So for haunted houses, have you done anything for a dead-end halo in northern Minnesota?
I don't know. I might have. I don't know.
Oh, Psycho X-Man, thank you.
What did he do?
Another donation.
Oh, very kind.
Everybody's working hard. We love our puppies. Glad you guys enjoy them.
All right, so this is going to be for this guy. I have a little bit of prep work to do, but I'm also going to mix in, and someone asked how the suits are made. It is basically this hair. This is 2 layers of it, sewn about an inch apart to make, you know, a nice full hairy suit. Because as Brendan, I think it was, who was asking about the lines make, you have Fun Fur and then you have National Fur Fiber Technologies, which is very expensive hair. It's wonderful, but it's like $50 for a square foot. So there you go. And I need gray for this Wolfman over here.
John Wojcicki. I miss my puppy. She used to always sleep like the one we moved. We lost our big dog last March, and we almost went a year without finding our new puppies. We didn't find them, but it just took longer than we thought it would. And yeah, you gotta have a dog.
I don't like being without puppies.
Or
Dogs. Dogs.
We have dogs and cats. We are located in Texas. We are in about an hour east of Dallas. We're sitting some rain away from Dallas. Yes, you are, Lockhart. You're being hammered.
It's one of those moments where you find something in your shop that you haven't seen in a long time. This is all buttons. Just
Do you
different.
mind sharing a link for the sheet hair you told us about for the Grinch costume?
It's the same. Scott Coldheart just shared a link for it. You might be behind. I'm not sure.
I'm not able to find the green hair on the normal hair. Also, how much would you recommend for pants, gloves, and a hood? Or how much hair? Sheet hair.
Pants. Probably like 7 or 8 packages just for pants. And a hood, 1 package, gloves, 1 pack for gloves is no problem.
Junkyard Hooligans, good afternoon.
Stacy, do you want a bunch of random buttons? And when I say a bunch of random
We
buttons,
have more than one Stacy on tonight.
oh, Stacy, our Stacy Hawkins, who works in the shop. Not that any other Stacy isn't our Stacy. See all these buttons? Don't you want these? Pro, shiny. Okay. I'm going to use this. Put a little more height on this so I can hear it easier.
There's a fan-made trailer that Alan would love called ZVP. It's kind of a love letter to Zatochi, as well as some creature-like people and sci-fi.
Honey, can you make a note of that so I can look it up?
Come on, thanks, John Roski. I will do that.
My wife is going to make a note.
I'm going to make a note.
So this is what I use. This is just clear silicone caulking. This is what I use to attach this hair. You'll see this technique here.
So, Psycho X-Man, as you are a collector, did you still want, you don't want gloves, you just want the eyes, is that right?
Yeah, do you want it foam filled? That's the question. So it sits up like a bust.
Is this going to go on a shelf, or are you going to wear it? If you're not going to wear it, then
I will treat it differently.
yes. So let us know what you want. Let's see. The foam is called polyfoam.
And everybody tonight who is donating to the channel through Super Chat, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We really do. It's always weird. Do you call them out and do you thank them right then? I'm gonna at least stop and say thank you for sure. And anybody who's watching who doesn't donate, that's fine too. Enjoy. I mean, we're just hanging out. To me, super chat is like we're a bunch of friends hanging out, and someone goes, "Oh, I'll get the next round. Put the chips and queso on my tab." You know, that's kind of what it is.
I'm glad I'm not the only person who enjoys bad movies. It says The Pouncing Dragon. That's a great name.
Listen, I watch some terrible movies. I prefer to watch good movies, but every now and then I watch bad movies. I want a monster movie, and I want a monster in a suit. I want a guy in a suit. That's what makes me really happy.
I was getting bored. Glad you were alive and said you saved my evening. Stacy Kirk. Thanks, Alan, and thank you for reviewing my witch mask. It's Agatha.
Oh, very cool. Awesome.
HG time lapse. I believe that is Agatha. Your Photoshop helped me a lot. Yes, that's Agatha. Hello. Thanks for writing.
Look for me on the 5th morning, top on the east. What? This is my Gandalf beard. See? I'm not as big of a Tolkien fan as I should be.
With my pug, I live in a 2-story house. Oh. Stacy wants the buttons.
Okay.
She says, sorry, sorry, watch.
Next time you're here, you come get you some buttons, some boutons.
Alan is right. You push to use your own character at the haunted house, James.
And I thought someone asked about a character at the haunt. I have a character that I play now that is Varney. His name is Varney, and he is a ghoul.
If you just type ZVP in YouTube, it's the first video that comes up. Thank you, John. I have put that in the notes for tonight, and I'm sure people enjoy this later. Psycho Axeman, how would you store a mask for a collection? I have a Universal Texas Chainsaw mask. It's cracked on the bottom after 10 years.
What is important is to keep it out of UV light. The sun should never touch it. It can be in a room with a window, but don't let direct light out of that window hit that mask. That is the biggest thing for the life of the mask, is UV light.
So if this is going to be a collection, we're not going to do gloves, we're going to do eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so taking gloves off of you.
I'm going to find out if he wants to foam fill it. Psycho, do you want this mask foam filled?
We appreciate you taking your time to share your knowledge, Scott. Great. Psycho Axman says phone filled.
Okay, no problem. That'll be awesome. That'll be fun to do too.
Okay. Extra bloody and gory.
Yes.
Turkish Star Wars is the best movie.
Turkish Star Wars. I watched an Indian horror movie. I watched an Indian horror movie the other day about tigers. And luckily, all of the singing and dancing there was a music video at the beginning and a music video at the end. So I was able to fast forward through them.
Happening Mojo. I want to electrostatic lay some nylon hair, but I can't find barge cement. Do you have any other suggestions for a contact adhesive?
Any contact cement will be fine. But normally for the electrostatic hair laying, like an electrostatic flocking gun, you normally use a heavy spray adhesive like Super 77 by 3M. 3M Super 77 is what is industry standard, but Prozaid also works very well if you have Prozaid. I know that you are in Thailand, so that is going to be a little harder. I don't know if they have that, but hopefully you can find 3M spray adhesive, or you can find any kind of a contact cement or rubber cement. Or Prozaid. Prozaid is good.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks jumped on and said, God damn it, Axe's man, are you buying up the shop?
He wants some stuff.
He's gonna get it.
He wants-
Junkyard Hooligans. I've been having fun painting all the blanks and can't wait to get the full Grouch costume.
Awesome.
Is that Jason Linden? Junkyard Hooligans, is that you?
Maybe they don't want their name set up.
That's possible. I apologize if you did not want that.
Maybe he's hiding from the mob.
You might be hiding from the mob. They're Junkyard Hooligans. I'll just say that if you recently ordered a full Grouch costume, I got you packed up today. You're good to go. It's hard to put the names together.
It is.
If you're hiding from the law, I apologize.
Yeah. Now he's going to get whacked.
Yeah. Have you seen Day Walt Horror on YouTube? Little channel that made a camera obscura miniseries back in 2010 or so. Some cool monster designs.
I have not, but I will look them up now.
Now I'll make a video. Maybe showing my age. Alan, have you ever heard of Dr. Paul Bearer?
Do you mean Dr. Paul Bearer, the horror host? I have heard of a Dr. Paul Bearer, the horror host. There's also Paul Bearer, who used to be the Undertaker's manager. He was the manager of some other people too.
Is it safe to phone fill an old Don Post mask with Loctite?
Yes, yes it is. It is not a petroleum-based product. Petroleum-based products will attack and eat the foam, eat the latex, and Loctite is not petroleum-based.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Phone filled is my fave. Cobwebs and Candlesticks. I wrote you earlier today. You may not have had a chance to check your email. Just verifying that you want your Megalodammed phone filled the same way
With a
that
pipe.
we did your Gillman with the pipe section as well. Did you want it the same way? Just making sure we have that right. So let us know.
Brendan, are you still on? Because this is the exact. You guys are so. What are you guys doing over there? Come over here and look at this. Just wandering off.
Put red lights in Psycho Axeman's. You want LED lights? Red lights in Psycho Axeman's mask.
Yeah.
So red LED lights, Psycho Axeman.
Red eyes. I'm gonna put some fake eyes in, and I'll light them up red from behind.
Was the Indian horror movie the remake knockoff of an American Werewolf in London?
No. What I watched was it was Cali or Bali or one of them, and it was about tigers eating people in a national park. And then it was a ghost tiger. They're the worst kind. Hey wife, I need a story time.
Oh Lord, I'm not
Just like
ready.
2 minutes of story time. Or you could run and grab me an ice water.
Give me a.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
See how I con my wife into doing
Just
stuff?
give me a glass.
Yes. You young people about to get married, learn these skills.
It's fun.
Yeah, just plain ice water sounds great. Okay, so this is the clear silicone caulk, and I'm just laying it down. And I put it about an inch and a half apart on the mask. And then I'm just figuring out how long this needs to be, and then I cut. And I think all this guy is going to work with one mask. One package of hair. So this whole mask will be one package of hair. I think. I'm not done yet. I might have to do package and a half. We'll see. And I looked it up. These packages are like $10, $10 or $11, I think, per package for when you're just buying one or two. Where can we send a mask to the horror family? I don't know what that means. Junoon was the end of a Indian Were-Tiger movie. No, I haven't seen that yet, but I will look at it. Tigers are Asian, yes, India specifically. Where can we send a mask to the horror family? Who's the horror family? Am I the horror family? All right, so I mean, this is, look at how hairy that is. Hair, long, beautiful hair. I mean, that it lays on there good. I haven't got all of it done yet, but pretty nice. Really, that's going to be right. For adhesive, I'm actually using silicone caulking. I'm using clear silicone caulk, 100% silicone, 100% clear GE silicone 2 is what I'm using. This holds really well, and I firmly believe this is kind of the best hair attachment stuff. I've done a lot of tests with things, and there are some things that maybe hold a little bit better, but if you count how long they take to apply and what a pain in the butt they are to use, this is the superior choice. His hair was perfect. Chinese menu is doing the werewolves in London. Yeah, so in the haunted house, I have a character I do now called Varney, and I had a character that I used to do called Carl, and Carl was a child murderer. And I got so angry all the time because everybody loved him, and like just the worse I made him, the more people liked Carl. He was a terrible person. He murdered children. Why? Because they were easier to carry to the van. Adults are heavy. Kids are not. That's why Carl murdered children. And the more I did Carl, the more people liked him, and the more disheartened I got with the public as a whole. All right, so now I've got to a point where I have filled in everything back here. That's all kind of the easy stuff. Now I have to do one more layer that is a nice showy layer. And that's going to go under the chin and all the way up here to blend in these edges. And where you put the hair, that's just time, experience, and practice. Lucky, you certainly can. And if you look up Carl Cleaver on Facebook, you'll find video. He's got a page. You'll find Carl stuff. Yeah, Carl opened a pizza joint, and it was called Carl's Playhouse. And so we actually had a side haunted house for a while that was Carl's Playhouse, and it was a pizza place, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, so that he could lure kids in to murder them. It was super creepy. And it was the kind of haunted house where afterwards you also wanted a shower. Okay, let's get that in there. This gray hair just looks so beautiful on this guy. He loves it. Yes, kind of like a showbiz pizza. It was very much showbiz-like because the haunted house had elements of Five Nights at Freddy's. So the mascots, robots, were crazy costumes, like mascot type, but robot-y, murdery. It was fun. I mean, it was different. It was very different as far as haunted houses go. But it kind of made you want to take a shower because it's all there to murder kids. All right, we're in our second pack of hair. The silicone is also good for facial hair, yes. Okay. Junkyard Hooligans is worried about a hit on his life because you outed him, honey. Actually, what he said was it used to be his band's name. That used to be his band's name. He's not hiding from anyone. He's fine. I'm just very careful with that. Maybe they don't want their real name out there. But anyway, yes, you also wanted a shower after working in it.
I have no idea where you are.
I am at Spastic Pug in Kentucky.
How would you open up a haunted house, sis?
Okay, do you want how to open up a haunted house or how to open up a haunted house with little money? Because those are two very different animals. If you want to know like the correct way to open up a haunted house, buy a building that you have plenty of parking and make sure that you get it set up as a place of assembly, and it has to have a sprinkler system and a fire suppression system. You want to have all of those things. A fire detection system, a fire suppression system, and a building with plenty of parking. You're going to have more regulations if you're within city limits, but the caveat to that is you'll get more customers. Now, if you want to know how to open up a haunted house for cheap, you find a farm with land and you make a deal with the owner. I want to build a haunted house on your land. We'll split the profits 50-50. I will fund the haunted house. You will fund and make all of the money from concessions. And I'm going to put in $10,000 to market it the first year. And if you would put in a little bit, that'd be great, but you don't have to. Anything that you put in for marketing, you will get back for the first 3 years, only 3 years. And then you should be able to, with that $10,000 investment in marketing, you should be able to get 1,100 people your first year, charge them $10 a piece, start with an outdoor trail, and then let your customer growth fund future haunted house expansion.
Psycho accidents have a little money. If
Yeah.
you had to create one scene in a haunted house, regardless of theme, what would it be?
I think that the quintessential haunted house scene is Frankenstein's laboratory. That is the quintessential haunted house scene that every haunted house probably should have. And you can judge a haunted house by how well it does their Frankenstein's lab.
on this cemetery.
And hey, by the way, guys, if anybody posts a comment or a question and we don't see it, just repost it, and we'll see it eventually. I am sorry, but you know we do have some folks on. We are doing okay.
107 people are watching.
107.
The hair on the chin just gave that mask another level of scariness, says Scott Christian.
Yeah, chin hair is great. All about the chin hair. One of my favorite days of middle school. So understand, I got a razor for my 12th birthday. Birthday is in July because I had enough facial hair to warrant a razor. And that's still middle school territory. And our normal school officer was not there that day. And the other officer thought I was a high school kid coming to hang out at the middle school, and he kicked me out. And I said, "You're gonna be sorry you kicked me out." He said, "No, I won't." So I left because he kicked me out. So then the next day I went to the principal's office, and they're like, "You were not, why weren't you here yesterday?" I was kicked out. I couldn't come here. I tried. And so they called the officer in, and he's like, "He's here again. I kicked him out yesterday." That was the first thing he said. And they're like, no, he's like, "But he's got a beard." Yeah, well, he's just a hairy guy. I don't know why I started that
Silicone
story.
masks vulnerable to UV light.
No, silicone is very stable. Silicone is very stable. It is very chemical resistant, whereas latex is not.
Favorite version of Frankenstein's Lab? Mine is Bernie Wrightson's illustration.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. You don't get too much better than that. And I really love the lab in Van Helsing. I mean, it was Dracula's lab technically, but that lab set in Van Helsing was good. I mean, it looked really nice.
Thank you, Alan. I'm not a businessman by any means. Great advice from Psycho X.
Do it. I mean, do it as cheap as you can. And maybe get 1 or 2 credit cards, but do not, borrow too much money in order to do a haunted house. What should you put on a credit card? Just that 10 grand in marketing. That's it. I would not put any more than that. I mean, if you have to get a partner to build stuff, go ahead. I don't necessarily recommend that either. But
Did you sculpt that? It looks awesome.
I did sculpt this.
I like the rust color showing through the eyes with the mask on.
Yeah, that doesn't suck.
What is the product you use as a hairspray for the mask?
I use a product called Glossifier, and I have some. I'll be glossifying this here in a little while. Glossifier. It is from Plastidep.
This is like watching a Bob Ross painting. Oh, it's perfect the way it is. No, don't add anything. Oh, wait, that's perfect.
Yeah. Don't mess with it. What are you doing? You're gonna mess it up. Yeah, I hear you.
Alan, you were correct. Dr. Paul Bearer was the host of Creature Feature way back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
What do you recommend to get great stuff off skin?
4 days. Baby oil, actually. Baby oil will get great stuff off your skin.
Psycho Accent says that's an evil nose. Suggestions for haunted attraction scares outside of haunted house while waiting in line.
Okay, waiting in line. This is a very important distinction. Waiting in line to go in after they have paid, or waiting in line to pay. Because that changes things.
My favorite Frankenstein laugh is the one from the original Frankenweenie short film by Tim Burton.
Okay.
The answer, Scott Creighton says, waiting in line to go in.
Okay. So what you're looking for there is you're looking for spectacle. Because it's not about the one person you're scaring. It's about the 75 people who are watching you scare that one person. So you want to do something that's big and showy. The little sneak up, and scare them from behind is only good if that person overreacts and like runs or does something like that. I will allow my actors outside to chase only for 3 steps. They can run 3 steps and then they have to stop because every chase ends in a crash. And a crash is also called an accident. But something big and showy. The coolest outside thing I've ever seen in a line is actually was at Universal when I was there, and there was Orlando. I used to work there for a while during haunt season. There was a priest walking, and there were 6 pallbearers, and they all had this big casket up on their shoulder. All right, and they're walking, and they would go right, because the lines kind of curve around, and they would go right to an area, by the line, and they would set the casket down on the ground, and the priest would start reading from a book or talking or whatever, and then and they all looked scary. They all looked very dark, and he would, as he was speaking, he would kind of draw a crowd in, and then he would start talking quieter and quieter, and he spoke quieter and quieter, so that the people would get closer and closer. And when the people were like 10 feet away or so, and that whole crowd was gathered, he would say, "And let us view the body one final time." And one of the pallbearers would open up the lid of the coffin, and inside of it were 6 chainsaws. And all the pallbearers would reach in, grab their chainsaw, start it up, and go after the crowd. And it was such an awesome bit because it drew them in, and then they scattered like crazy. So it was a perfect, pull in the haunt crowd and push away the haunt crowd. It worked very well. But now outside in a haunt, a lot of what you're doing is you're taking pictures with people. That is just a big part of what we have to do. Got to do to the back side, to the other side, what I did to the other side. Any other questions, Will?
Is this mask going to be a dark hour?
This mask is for sale. This is going to, someone has ordered this. So that's where this particular mask is going. Will I pour up 1 or 2 of these for dark hour for our July werewolf show? Probably. Because I like this mask. I might be wearing this mask when I'm wolfmanning there. I'm not per se making this for dark hour, but I will probably have this one make an appearance. And see how each layer kind of hides the next one? It's like you're doing a row of shingles. One of the most important lessons I ever got in haunting was when I was a wolfman at a haunted house, and I was scaring people in the parking lot. And this bus pulled up. And I'm like, oh, a bus. And I can hear like girls talking on like a school bus. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is gonna be fun. So as soon as it stops and the door opens, you know, like a guy gets out, and he starts walking over to the ticket booth, and I go in right behind him. I get into the bus, and I run up and down the bus. It's full of cheerleaders, and I'm scaring the heck out of them. They are screaming and crying, and I'm on that bus maybe a full minute, just scaring the tar out of them. And then I come off the bus, and I go hide, and I go about my business, and I'm still working, and then I see the guy who got off the bus. He's going, Wolfman, Wolfman, and he's looking around the parking lot. Wolfman, where are you? Wolfman. And I kind of like pop my head up out of the bush, like, what? And he's like, come here, come here. So he didn't look mad. So I went over, and he goes, here. And he handed me, I think it was $150. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this for? But you know, I'm a wolf man, so I didn't want to talk. And he goes, you just saved me $500. And that is a very important lesson that I learned, because maybe I got to scare people, but I did it before they bought tickets. And I scared away a bus full of customers. Now, I did make $150, but I really hurt the business that night. And you know, and later they're all talking about how, yeah, that bus showed up. I didn't see anybody come in out of it. And I didn't say anything, but I did. I took that lesson. I learned the lesson, and I never did that again. And that was a 14-year-old Alan who learned that lesson.
So on the question on the entertaining, the cue entertaining,
Yeah.
and it says you're waiting in line to go in also before they pay and after. I like the strict three-step chase rule.
3-step chase rule is important, because you can cause some problems if they chase more than 3 steps. And 3 steps will get you pretty far.
I used my giant dinosaur costume I made last year for entertainment.
And you know what? Anywhere, anytime, before they pay or not, right now, it's spectacle. It is have costumes that people want to take pictures with. Because that's marketing for your show. And also, market your show out there. I mean, work your logo, work your haunt name into your character's costumes, so that when they take a picture, it says, I mean, we're Dark Hour, so it says Dark Hour Haunted House. We have embroidered tabards that hang off of their belts. So when these stilt guys take a picture, you know, they present that embroidered side, and so Dark Hour Haunted House shows up in a lot of pictures. Really important for events, but also fairly important just at the haunt.
I had a blast scaring people coming out of the porta potty.
Coming out, if you scare them going into the porta potty, they could release fluids on you.
Awesome, thank you, Sister Crane. Thomas R. When I was younger, a haunted walk on a boardwalk through Cypress Swamp was all the rage. The actor that snuck up behind with a real chainsaw with no blade would fire up and chase you to speed up.
Yeah. Chainsaws don't have the scare that they used to. I think we had a lot of residual chainsaw scares from the original Chainsaw Massacre movie. And that really carried us through the 80s and early 90s. I think that has worn off, and we haven't had a good chainsaw killer movie in a good while.
What years did you work Halloween Horror Nights?
That would be... No, I didn't work every night because I was working at Skull Kingdom and Terror on Church Street. So when I worked... hold on. 96, 97, 98, 99. 96, 97, 98, 99. In 2000, I split my time between Skull Kingdom and Spooky World in Massachusetts.
top of the hair to glue with silicone to not short that line. To not short that line. This is Agatha. This is the HT Timers.
What does it say again?
Can I cut the top of the hair to glue with silicone to no shot that line?
To not show the
To
line.
not show that.
Yes, you can. And I'll actually do that technique on the top here because that's where it's really going to be visible. These guys, it kind of blends in to the side, so I'm not worried about it. But it is visible on the top of the head, and I'm going to address that here in just a minute. But first,
Do you prefer synthetic hair or metal hair?
synthetic hair.
What is the highest and lowest temperature you would recommend storing a latex mask at?
Recommend, I know it's not probably practical, but I would recommend keeping it at about room temperature, 75 degrees. If you can, 65 degrees. I would not want to store them over 90 degrees, because at that point you're going to get some sagging and they won't hold up under themselves. And the warmer, if it gets too hot or if it freezes, it's going to cause problems.
Psychoactin says a flannel jacket.
Yeah, that'd be a good costume for one of these guys.
Steve Haynes. Hello, Steve. I love your haunting tips. Beth. Hi, Beth. This is Lanny's wife, Beth Ann, and
Hey.
Lanny and Beth Wood. What's the length of the hair you are using? It looks great. I love the color.
10-inch.
Gray house haunts. Scare after they buy the tickets.
8-inch. I lied to you. This is 8-inch hair.
It's all about the Instagram for new people. It's happening.
It is. It really is. And
Oh, go ahead.
they, part of the reason why they come is they come to haunted houses to get good Instagram content. They're coming in order to get pictures to prove that their life was interesting. So we have to satisfy that.
Who wins in a fight, Wolfie or Sasquatch?
Always the Wolfman. The Sasquatch does not regenerate. Wolfman can heal damage that he is given by Sasquatch.
Cameron Mojo says werewolf. It's supernatural as opposed to cryptozoological.
Yeah.
Giselle Parrott, hello.
Hello.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Hostel had a chainsaw scene at night.
It did, but they had so many different graphic things in it, all of them lost power. Kind of like the movie Sin City. By the time one guy rips the testicles off another guy with his bare hands, you were exposed to so much violence at that point, it was kind of numb, and I felt nothing when I should have been, ooh, that's going to hurt. And I didn't. I was just kind of numb to it because it was so much violence. And the same with Hostel. There's so many big violent scenes. They all lost collective power. If it built up to one big scene, that would have the right strength. In my opinion. I don't know everything.
Can you sign the inside of the mask for psychoactin?
Of course, I will sign the bottom of the bust, because we're going to foam fill it.
Got you, John. I got you on Psychoaxman for your order. You're good to go. Besides jump scares, what other types of scares do you think are the most effective?
Okay, so here we go. There are 4 kinds of interaction in a haunted house. All right, there's push, pull, stop, and allow. That is the 4 kinds of interaction that an actor can have with the customer. Push is the standard what most things are. That's like your jump scare, that's your just attack, ferocity. Think about the things that people say too much in a haunted house. Get out! Well, that's a push. They're trying to verbally push you away. Push. A push is a simple, ah! You're attacking, you're pushing that person out of the room. And that's why they say scare forward, scare in the direction of traffic. Don't want to push them back into the set. The flow of people through the house is the flow of money through the haunted house. And if you back that up, it causes problems. But so push, pull, stop, and allow. Push is your standard actor scare. Blah! You know, I'm pushing you. Pull is when you're trying to pull someone in. You're trying to pull. Don't get me wrong, but there is a masculine and a feminine for each one of these. The masculine of push and pull is push. I'm going to push you because I am a big, strong man. I'm pushing you. The feminine is pull. Kind of like it's a feminine way to ask you to do something. Honey, do you want to take out the garbage? No, we don't want to take out the garbage, but they're pulling you into doing it. It's a pull. So a common female line in a haunt is, do you want to play with us? There's a technique called share my stuff where, let's say you have something like a dead animal, a dead possum. You want to play with my dead possum? You're trying to pull them in. You're trying to engage them in something that they don't want to have any part of. I think I want you to stay here and be my wife. I would like very much for you to be my wife. My last wife stopped moving after I put the pillow on her face. So that was pull. I was pulling. I was trying to get you to stay here to be my wife. And just say that to a guy, you know, who does not look gay. And then way more fun. But anyway, especially if you're much bigger than them. Push, pull, stop. Stop and allow are more victim roles. So stop is the person who is maybe they're tied up to the torso table or they're chained to the wall. They're like, get me out of here. You got to get me out of here. Help me, help me. They're trying to stop the situation that they're in by, you know, applying force, but they're physically held back. They're physically being restrained. Stop. And then allow is they're the victims in the cage and they've just given up. You know, help me, but it's a real weak help me. They're not defending themselves. They're asking the people for help. Help me, please, please. Whereas the stop actor is, you know who I am? You better get me out of here. That he is physically trying and mentally trying to stop that situation from happening. Whereas an allow is allowing it to happen to them, but hoping that you would stop it. So, spastic pug, it's true. That kind of stuff still makes people uncomfortable. We're 2020, but that sexuality flip disturbs some folks. But anyway, push, pull, stop, allow. Those are the 4 interactions you're going to have in a haunt. I forgot why I went into that giant diatribe.
Because you were asking what you think are the most effective scares.
I like those push scares, but pull is also very effective. Whereas share my stuff is a technique where you have something, and you're trying to pull them in and engage them, you know. My doll is pretty. It would be prettier if it had your hair. I'm going to take your hair. You know, that's, I'm pulling you in. I'm engaging with the use of a prop. Let's make a werewolf.
Junkyard hooligan. Some people would open the door of the porta potty to see a 12-foot long T-Rex and refuse to come out. We're talking about the entertaining.
Yes, that could easily. I don't know if I would come out of the porta pot. I was once trapped in a porta pot by a skunk for several hours.
We're talking about Bigfoot and werewolves, plus werewolves aren't reclusive, they're in your face.
Agatha, this is that last row of hair and how you hide it.
Psycho Axeman, those yellow eyes.
Them eyes, yo.
Alan, the light tan werewolf, who is it?
Whose
Alan,
mask
the
is
light
it?
tan werewolf, whose mask is it?
Whose
Light
mask
tan
is this?
werewolf? That is Brian Page's.
That's Brian Page's mask.
That is a moving jaw werewolf?
Moving jaw werewolf.
That belongs to Brian Page.
Custom with the fursuit upgrade.
That is correct. And interchangeable Krampus mask. I worked 2003 Halloween Horror Nights, but dresser for Bill and Ted.
Cool.
Hugo from Brazil. This werewolf hair is very detailed.
It helps, you know. The hair makes the werewolf.
Thomas R. ALEXA. How much longer before the Legadan is done cooking?
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 26 minutes left on your 2-hour timer.
26 minutes.
Cobwebs and candlesticks. I refuse to do instant paint. Did you mold Werewolf 2020 with the intention of being able to use it as a vampire?
No. Because at the same time I sculpted this, I sculpted the Nosferatu, which was pretty much a straight vampire.
Who would win in a fight? Popeye or Superman? My grandfather says Popeye, and your grandfather's right. Elders
I
are correct.
think your grandfather is wrong.
You're right.
Spinach is awesome,
Elders are correct.
but Superman would cook Popeye's spinach
Elders are correct.
with his heat vision.
The werewolf should come standard with those yellow eyes. I believe they're talking about the bust. For the
Yes, it is a nice look.
The Takashi Miike cameo was the best part of Hostel. I hope I said that correctly. Werewolves. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it just stood on the keyboards and now I've lost it. Werewolves are cool. Thanks for all you do.
Hey, thanks.
I am Hop Frog. What a great name.
Hop Frog.
Hop Frog. What a great name.
You know why that's a great name?
Yes, I do. And this is brand new. I don't remember seeing you, and that's a great name.
Shannon says Hop Frog is my favorite Edgar Allan Poe story.
That is so cool. What a great name.
Hop Frog in the Edgar Allan Poe story
Very creepy.
was a lame dwarf jester who he kind of walked on his hands and stuff because his legs didn't work well, and he was a dwarf, and this guy kind of collected oddities who owned him, and he was his jester. And there was also another dwarf who he kept as a fairy princess, and Hop Frog was in love with her, and the guy who owned him was mean, and he was mean to her, and Hop Frog kind of wanted to get revenge. So he was from a different country as this guy, and he said, in my country there's a great jest, and that guy was having a big costume ball kind of party. He wanted to do something really awesome, and he convinced them to be the 8 chained orangutans. So he covered them in pitch, which is tar, but not like hot tar, just enough so that flax would stick to them. So he covered them in flax and tar so they looked like these big hairy monkey monsters, and he had them all chained together. And they brought them into the middle, and they lowered a great chandelier down so that they could see them better. And they were having fun, because whenever you're in a gorilla suit, it's fun to scare people. They were having fun scaring the crowd, and then he pulled their chain into the middle, and he said, let's see who these orangutans are. And he hooked the chain onto the chandelier, which rises out of the ceiling and lowers so you can light the candles. And it was down so they could see better, but he lit a torch. And remember, they're covered in pitch and flax, and he lights them all on fire and then has the chandelier raised. So they're all dangling in the air on fire, screaming for their lives as they die, and Hop Frog and the fairy princess get away in the commotion. So there. One of my favorite stories by Edgar Allan Poe. And I think this werewolf is done.
Psycho Axe Man, you're amazing.
Yes. So there we go.
Any good suggestions for a final scare as the customers exit the haunt?
That depends. What's your haunt theme? What are they seeing in the haunt before then? That's a hairy werewolf.
Speaking of Alan's signature, I still have my heat gun.
It's a hairy werewolf.
Can I paint hair once I glue it on? I was only able to find black tracked hair.
Yes, you can airbrush it or spray paint it any color you want.
We get issue. It's engagement. Talking about engaging developments. Stunning work.
Hey, thanks.
Phil Batchelor, be afraid, Shannon. What am I afraid of? Why am I afraid, Bill? Let me know.
There's many
Enticing you
reasons.
into a dark pit. Try to say that to a guy. Somebody tries to scare me who does not look gay. Did you pour Megalodon yet? Hi, Jim.
I poured it up today, and in 20-some minutes, I'm going to pour it out.
Pull is a decoy for a push. Pull is as a decoy for a push.
It can be, but pull has its own power of interaction also. It's also nice to appear in the hallway in front of them and then say, follow me, and then go into darkness. You're backing up into darkness. They're staying still. You're not charging them at all. You're retreating. But they get a sense of dread from that. So it's a scare. It's not just a setup. It's also a scare. Because you can pull the right way and get a scare just as you can with a push. I said it's a feminine technique. That does not mean it is a weaker technique. What it means is it requires a degree of finesse to be used properly. And most men are kind of cudgels, and we're not as finesseful. And we can rely on our ape-like size to do a lot of the work, whereas many girls cannot.
Pool is the very best. Sexy vampires or demented women.
Yeah.
Hello, Brian. Body Geeks. Hello. Yes, Brian, that is yours. Mine.
We're working on you now.
Yes, that is your werewolf. Yes, sir. Spastic hug. Don't scare someone coming out of a public porta potty. They've been through enough already.
Well, that's fair.
Bradley G. Oh no, those beautiful wrinkles. Brian, Rob O'Brien taking notes. Greetings from Greece. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Greece.
Hello, Greece. We want to come see you one day. I think I need to make a werewolf guitar, says Ezekiel. Boy, he liked your guitarist from.
This is a lovely chunk of fur that I want to use. This is from one of the fursuits. Remember I said it had the hair like every inch? See how many of these are sewn on there?
That's for Psycho Axeman was asking about that.
About what?
About how did you hair the suits?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to see them.
Yeah, so that's... But that makes just a nice, really hairy, long, beautiful hair suit.
That's what's been used for Body Geeks werewolf.
I may. I'm looking at what I've got to see what pieces will work best.
Cobwebs and Candlestick's favorite toe is the Telltale Heart.
Oh, I love Telltale Heart. It's good.
Bloody Geeks. How long will 5 gallons of latex last before it must be used? Referring to shelf life.
Probably 2 years or so.
Ryan Cook, Thor 2006 says, yes, I love that story too. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I'm doing an EAP theme for my Halloween party this year.
Really?
I even got EAP tarot cards for the fortune telling scene. That is horror beauty.
Very cool.
Boy, we're going to need pictures of that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hello from Florida. Awesome that you know Dr. Paul Bearer.
Well, I'm kind of in the right business that I ought to know those things.
Superb. He looks great. Says that's awesome. You turn your house into fall of the House of Usher. Oh, that's awesome. Great story, Alan. Edgar Allan Poe is awesome. Have you checked out the movie Wolves with Jason Momoa, Lucas Till? The Wolfman costumes weren't too bad.
They were very good, actually. They were very good.
Jim Ovitz, glad you're here. Where did you say you got your hair from bulk again?
I get it directly from the company that makes sheep, JBS Hair.
Woohoo, Quint! Everybody's waiting for that shark. Cobwebs and Candlesticks, I call him Quint too. That was my vote, but I wasn't on that night, but I love that name. Lucky 2001. I was cast as a chainsaw guy multiple times, but as much effort as I put into it, I never enjoyed it as much because I felt limited to the prop.
Yeah, that's a problem. And for some people it's a crutch, and they think that all the scares the prop gets they earn, and sometimes that's not true.
I see the hair, it looks good, great job, HT time-lapse. Psycho Axman says it's patience. Scott Creighton, haunt theme is haunted jail. Scott's the one who's been asking about the Q word.
Yep. haunt
theme is a haunted jail or haunted mansion. Any good suggestions for final scare as the customers exit? And I like how you finished off the forehead with the hair. Seamless, that's also strange.
So here is a ending scene that I did before, and that it works pretty well. It is an electric chair room with an electric chair prop, kind of similar to the one that Distortions has, but you have like big electrical cables coming down to the chair, and right as he's getting fried, which you put a controller on it and do flashing lights, the electric sounds and stuff, you have him break free, because it's just held on with Velcro or magnets or whatever. So he breaks free from his buckles, and he swings those cables over into the bars where the people are. And then those electrical cables hit those bars, and in the wall behind them and all around them are the flash cracker poppers. And so the lights go out, the flash cracker poppers all go off in their hallway, and the actor in the chair has gotten up and gone behind them. And when the lights kick back on, he is there to give them a push out, and with those flash crackers still going. It's a very interactive set because there's, the flashing lights, and the flash crackers are really nice pieces. Maybe that'll work for you. Who knows? Okay.
Do you enjoy the ghost movies that are based in haunted attractions like Hell House?
Normally no. But I'm not a big fan of ghost movies. I like monster movies. Yes, ghosts are paranormal. Yes, they're a paranormal element, but there's just not a monster guy in a monster suit. And that's what I love the most about movies. Like if I had to nail down one element that made movies enjoyable for me, it's a guy in a monster suit.
I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trail Fixing Werewolf mask you are working on, how much would it cost?
Okay, so this is a different setup, okay? Normally this mask is $175, and it looks a little bit different. It has a different kind of hair on it. But this one, we are making to go with one of our hair suits. The hair suits normally get the Wolfman mask I was just working on. That's meant for those. This is an upgrade. So done like this mask is $225. But again, normally it's $175. I have to get some contact cement. Any questions we're missing? Sure, what's on it, but you are having to write up a lot of orders and stuff.
I have so many things going
Yeah.
on right now. I like Poe's writing, but his scientific writings were also really interesting, especially about Obler's paradox, even more so considering he was perpetually wasted. I can't wait to get my hands on a fursuit. They look so cool. Ezekiel, we have a gray fursuit. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's your order. The first gray. Line Cook Thor 2006, Lux the Raven. Cobwebs and Candlesticks. He did get kicked out of school in Baltimore.
And I grew up in the Baltimore area, Harford County.
I've never read Edgar Allan Poe since I was 10. I know, I've read Edgar Allan Poe since I was 10. I wanted to make an animation dedicated to him. Spastic Fun.
That would be cool. Do you make animation? Is that like what you do?
Cobwebs and Candlesticks likes the pit and the pendulum.
That's a good one. If you're into, you know, personal strength and fears and all that.
John Royski says there's a documentary called American Scary about Thor hosts.
I will have to look that up.
Look that up. Bart Hewitt. He's a leaf on e-school and got kicked out for not being able to pay. We're talking about Edgar Allan Poe. The cast of Amontillado.
Amontillado.
Thank you.
That is,
Yeah, do the shark. I don't want to bore people. Everyone wants to see the shark. Oh, Bill Batchelor. Be afraid, Shannon, was a reference to Alan saying his first wife stopped breathing after he put a pillow on her head. I got you.
I don't think Shannon would go down without a fight, for the
No,
record.
no, there this can go on for a while. But that's awesome, Bill. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Plus, wasn't he dyslexic of some sort of learning handicap?
Well, how would you know if he had a learning handicap? Because of all the laudanum that he took.
Obtenebration, thank you so much. It's so sweet.
What's that?
Obtenebration, that's Paul and Tracy, who we talked, who sent us the doggy tags. I've got them on another line here.
Edgar Allan Poe also made up a lot of words.
Have you ever pulled a member of a group out in one group and made them a distraction for a scare in the next group?
Yes. Yeah. We've also just pulled them out and then given them back. That is fun. That's how one time I abducted the wrong child. I'm sure I've told that story to y'all before.
I'm sure you're about to. Corporate robot slave. I woke up this morning thinking about werewolves, and I see this. Things that make you go,
Hooray! That means you're having the right thoughts.
Oh, and I just saw a three-legged coyote. What are the chances?
Did I see a question up there about a haunted house theme? How important are themes? Something like that?
Haunt theme is a haunted jail and haunted mansion. Scott Creighton, you already answered
After that.
After that.
Okay. If someone asked a question about haunt themes, I saw it quickly.
Okay, but I'm not at the bottom yet. I'm still
Okay.
making my way there.
Oh,
so-
I'm sorry. I thought you said no. I'm sorry.
Well, I haven't gotten there. I'm still- The Black Cat is my favorite Poe story.
It's a good one.
I know you've been a haunt director and everything else related. You should do some video tutorials on the anatomy of scares.
Well, I actually have haunted house DVDs. You go to my website, I sell DVDs for haunted house acting and for haunted house design. On stillpeacestudios.com, we have a whole DVD section for haunt entertainment. Haunt education.
How important is it to have a theme for your haunt as opposed to just a random compilation of scary scenes? I haven't gotten to it yet.
If you are one single haunted attraction, where meaning that's it, they come to you, they buy their ticket, they go in and out, theme is not important. if there are two attractions. When I started working for Screams in 2000, honey, when did I start working as Screams director?
As director,
Yeah,
2008.
2008. Okay.
8.
So in 2008, when I started working at Screams Park, which was here in Waxahachie, at that point in time, they had 5 or 6 different haunts, and they kind of had different themes, but each one had a library. Like every haunt had a library. Every haunt had, a scene with coffins in it. And they all kind of felt the same. So what the themes do is they make very different experiences. So if you're a park and you have 5 different shows, you want one of them to be a haunted mine shaft. One of them is going to be alien encounter. One of them is going to be an asylum. One of them is going to be a castle. One of them is going to be a field with scarecrows and pumpkin men and witches. So that's 5 different experiences. That way you're hitting different notes with everything, and it makes a better harmony. If they were all the same, if you had a haunted prison, a haunted asylum, a haunted hospital, a haunted school, those would all feel kind of the same, because they all might have a cafeteria, they all might have, they would all feel a little bit the same because they're all institutions. So you want to spread that out, because what if a person doesn't find that scary? They might, man, I wish I saw a castle when I was here. That's why you spread out and you do different themes to make more guests happy. And if people leave your attraction and everybody says their favorite thing was the same exact thing, you're failing. Their favorite thing should be spread out. That tells you that a lot of what you're doing is successful. If everybody answers the same on what was the best thing you saw, then everything else is weak. And you got to bring it up.
Can you use acrylic paint to paint a blank?
You can mix latex in with it. Mix latex, distilled water, and acrylic paint. You still need latex, so it has to have stretch. Because that latex will stretch, that acrylic paint will not. It will come right off.
What if it was just a blank that's not going to move around or something?
Doesn't matter. It'll scratch right off. It doesn't have a binder to it. We are waiting. We're waiting for this fur that I cut for his head to dry so that I can, glue it on and stuff. Look at the floor. Think about what you've done.
Okay. How important is it to have, does anyone have an Egyptian theme park?
Yep.
Someone else did the same, 225 upgrade for me. Okay, Body Geeks, someone else did the same. 225 upgrade as me with the moving jaw. Body Geeks, are you asking if someone else did the same 225 upgrade as me with the moving jaw?
I don't think so. I think one other mask has been upgraded, and it was a silver suit, right?
We have one silver suit.
Silver suit. So yes, kind of.
Have you ever used a ghillie suit?
Yes, of course.
Spastic Puck says I work on animation from time to time. It lets me do stuff I otherwise would not have the budget to do.
Cool.
You like H.P. Lovecraft or Poe?
I'm probably going to pick Edgar Allan Poe over H.P. Lovecraft, because so much of Lovecraft happens in your head, and a lot of Poe too. They're very similar in that way. Lovecraft has a whole expanded universe, and I really like that. That's a tough question. Poe is more near and dear to my heart. Lovecraft has more real-world applications for my work. Does that make any sense?
Have you ever had to deal with a problem employee during a show, being too inappropriate or going too far or not doing enough?
Yes, in most cases I fire them. If they are not doing enough, I try and find out why they're not doing enough. I do not assume it's because they are lazy. Haunted house casting is very difficult because you have to find how that person is going to be successful. And that sometimes takes moving them a few times.
My Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. I asked if you had poured the Bangladesh mask yet, and if so, how did it turn out?
I poured it tonight, so I haven't pulled it yet. You're going to see me dump it out here in maybe... Alexa, how much time is left on my timer? 13 minutes.
You have 30 seconds left on your 2-hour timer.
Oh.
See, I didn't know you had a CD second last. Besides just a certain amount of time, do you have any tips or tricks on how long to wait before you send in the next group of customers into your home?
How long can you wait? That's the question. How is your haunt set up where are they going to bunch up right away? You want to make sure that they have room and they don't run into each other. Alexa, stop.
What time is it?
It's shark time.
Time flies. Hello from Oklahoma.
Hello.
I work with a haunt that's a fundraiser for a nonprofit youth outreach program. We have about 60 to 70 volunteers. Any tips for growing this kind of haunt?
Lots of haunt advice tonight.
Do you want to do that and then come back to this question? We're going to go pour out?
Yeah.
Okay. Derek, hang tight a second. We're going to go pour out that mask, and I've got you next up.
I will get to your question. This is just a ploy for us to keep you on longer.
Plastic Ninja. I hope you got your package.
Say Plastic Ninja. Do-do-do-do. All right. And actually, this is the shark mold, but the action is going to happen right over here. I'm going to get myself a stool. It's final countdown. Enter the draining stool. Okay, shark mold, full latex, will not be light. That is dripping out into the bucket. Shark is drained. Alexa, countdown, 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Starting now.
That's awesome. Okay.
Ready?
It's draining.
Okay, we're going to go back to Derek's question. Go ahead and get set up. Are you ready?
Gotta close these doors. All right, hit me.
I work with a haunt that's a fundraiser for a nonprofit youth outreach program. We had about 60 to 70 volunteers. Any tips for growing this kind of haunt? Outreach, volunteers.
Well, the same way you would grow any haunt, really. I tend to focus on the people who love haunting, regardless of the reason why. I have trained at haunts who raise money for a zoo. Doesn't matter. I teach them like haunt people. I treat them like haunt people. I've trained at haunts who raise money for the deaf. Doesn't matter. I still treat them like haunt people. So with that, you're just trying to expand your cast or your customer base. Do you have casting business cards? Meaning you had 1,000 cards made up from Vistaprint or whatever that said you could be a scary star, and with your haunt name on it and the contact info for the haunted house. Because give those out all year, you know. Make it a goal any day you're out in public. Not right now, because right now we're not in public really. But any day you're out in public, make it a goal to give away 20 cards. And people will feel good because you singled them out. Maybe you singled them out because they're really tall. Maybe you singled them out because you're out here skateboarding, and that shows athletic prowess. And I think we could teach you to be an awesome stilt walker out at the haunted house. Find a reason why you could make them a star, and give them that card. And then then you have your normal training and hiring events and all that. But the casting cards to give throughout the year, that is such a big deal. Because if you give out 1,000 or 2 throughout the year, you're going to have about 40 or 50 people show up for an audition. But don't just have the audition. Do stuff with them throughout the year. Say, hey, we're all going to go see this horror movie. You don't have to pay for it. Just tell them you're all going to go see it. And it's a bonding thing.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks says Lovecraft was also a raging racist.
Yes, he was.
Spastic Pug, would it be alright if I showed you some of my art projects via email?
Would not be all right. It would be awesome.
Your email address?
Share away. Stiltbeast@gmail.com.
No.
Wait, Stiltbeast Studios.
I've got it.
My wife is going to send you a link. I cannot be trusted. Massage the werewolf face.
Yes, please. Spastic Pug, I just sent you an email address. If you send it there and he'll get it. Much less chance of it getting buried. Okay.
My stuff can get buried.
Everyone wants to see that shark. This is true.
I also want to see the shark. All right, now we blend this in with hair.
Plastic Ninja, my package arrives Monday. Don't leave, Bill. Go ahead and sing. Body Geeks, I'm in need of a road trip. You have, Body Geeks, I will tell you, we have a section in the back of our shop where we have prepped boxes of things that are ready to go out. They might be missing one thing we're waiting for, and then that, as soon as that we get that, it's ready to go. But you, sir, have a shelf of your own. You don't have a box, you have a shelf. Psycho Axe Man says $2. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. I don't know what that was for, but I appreciate it.
But, yeah.
Where's my $2?
Body Geeks, you have your own shelf.
So earlier today, I had this whole box of hair. And now I need that box of hair. I don't know where it is. Like, it was in my hand. I showed it to you guys. My shop needs to go back in order. It is not in order, and that is killing me. Like, really, I lost the whole box.
Is it a box that was mailed here? Is it like a FedEx box?
Yeah. I can check in the other room. while you guys logged in to watch me try and find stuff in my shop. Where's my $2?
Guess what we're doing tomorrow?
Ooh, I found it. Thanks for your help, wife.
Yeah.
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 Okay, here we go. Now I got brown hair to put on.
How long before you can pull a mold after dumping?
Normally 12 hours. So it ain't gonna be tonight.
See, so no one ever sees the behind the scenes. You're seeing it here.
Yeah, this is way behind the scenes. I don't even have scenes. It's all behind the scenes.
Have you ever put hair from Werewolf 2020 on the moving Jaw Werewolf?
Well, okay, I mean, I'm doing that right now. Because, I mean, he has to get this hair to blend in to the rest of the suit. Okay, and then I start on the back.
How many actors wear masks versus how many use makeup?
I try to go 60-40. 60% in masks, 40% in makeup. That is because I have a cast of about 95. And I want quality makeup jobs on those who have makeup, and they rotate. But also on my show, actors don't play the same thing every night. They will, they might be something different the very next night. We bounce around quite a bit as far as our cast goes. So you're not going to be in the same thing every time. So you might have a mask once every, every 3 out of 6 nights you work.
Spastic Pug, I'd have you down. And yes, sir, I've got your address, your shipping address that you sent, and we will get that signed for you.
What's Spastic Pug got?
Spastic Pug got the second carnivore.
That's right, carnivore.
Because he named the carnivore, and he was getting it signed. Some proper Brian says somewhere there's a werewolf leg going crazy. Scott Creighton, Better Off Dead reference. The Camaro in that movie is my dream car.
Aha!
Better Off Dead, I want my $2.
Where's my $2? Unlike the Loch Ness Monster, who wants tree fig.
Psycho Axeman, see, we miss points. It's like a shark. It's where you dump the latex. What kind of motors do you recommend for props?
I like reindeer motors and I like wiper motors. Both of which, well, you can get the wiper motors from Fright Props. I get my reindeer motors from Kindy's.
Shop cleaning day tomorrow.
Who said that?
Line Cook for 2006. I think he means you.
Mind your own business.
Yep, restoring is the day job because YouTube's paid nothing yet. That's cobwebs and candlesticks.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm selling masks. YouTube is not a lot of money.
Are the ear EVA foams? Sorry if you've already addressed this.
They are, and if you watch this tomorrow, the repeat, you can watch me put them on. Because I put them on at the beginning. You can watch me cut them out. Yes, I show that whole process.
Marlene McCurchin, I was thinking about making a person with a chainsaw.
You should make them.
Funny Geeks, I watch movies now looking at how the sets were built.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it is too tall, so I'm going to take it off of the little pedestal I put it on.
Tutwork Studios, do you get a lot of the same actors year after year in the con?
We do. We have a very high retention rate at our show. We have a good acting culture, I think, at Dark Hour. Our cast manager, casting director, Amber, is excellent. And yeah, we do have a good actor retention rate. By the way, that's something that every haunted house should track. If you're not keeping your actors happy, that's not too far from your customers, by the way. And we're out of silicone.
Show them.
I will. All right, we are ready to switch to a new silicone tube. In case you don't know how a caulking gun works, see that hole right there? That's going to cut the tip off of your silicone. See that metal rod right there? That's going to poke the seal in your silicone caulking tube. And now you're ready to put it in. If you put it in without doing those two things, it's going to explode through the back of the tube as you put pressure on it. Alexa, how much time is left on my countdown?
You don't have any notifications.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 12-minute timer.
Line put forwards out and says, sorry, Alan, had to. You must clean the shop tomorrow.
Yes, it was my intent today, but instead I got stuff done. That's kind of the curse that we have is, do you want to get things done or do you want to clean the shop?
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop. Collaborate and listen.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
What the inside of the shark mask looks like. It is poured out. It is set.
Psycho Axman says it's not a Krampus. And he says to Buck, thank you, Psycho Axman.
Woo!
If I wanted to make masks for haunts local to me, what's the best way of approaching the owner and asking? Also, is that an inappropriate thing to do? This is from Scott McDonald Jr.
I don't think so. I think making masks for haunts is awesome. I've kind of made a career out of it. So, yeah. How do you approach it? I would take some of the masks that you made to a haunted house and said, "Hey, I make masks. I'm local. I would like to do stuff for you. These are my very reasonable rates." Unless you do not have reasonable rates.
I'm a set props lighting designer. I knew I had a problem and I started critiquing lighting in a John Wayne movie.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Stacy says dark hour spoils this. Body Geeks, was your building an old Circuit City? I've been checking out haunts across the country from Google Earth.
No, our building was an old sports authority. They just moved to a new building.
Do it.
Oh, he heard me. He heard me. Because sometimes when I say Alexa, stop, I then say Alexa, collaborate and listen. Alexa, can you sing a song?
Connect, sync, link all the pieces of your life. I get it done at the speed of Wi-Fi. I'm the player, the coach, the game. If you want something done, just say my name.
Oh my God, you guys, please.
That rapping Alexa, you gotta give it to
Oh
her.
my goodness, guys, look at this.
You want me to sing? All right, so listen.
He doesn't want her to sing.
All right, so you know what? All right, so we're talking a lot of haunted stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I will sing some Kiss. This is my energy music that I sing.
You're gonna wake up the dogs.
I'm gonna wake up the
You're gonna
dogs.
wake up the dogs.
This is dogs. Be awake. Here's some warning noise.
Okay.
Because I can't sing this quiet. All right.
The cat's gonna be afraid.
Gotta thunder Kiss. I'm not singing the whole song. I got stuff to do.
Explain the significance of the
So,
song.
yes, the significance of the song is it is very important when you're acting in a haunted house to maintain your energy because everything you do just sucks energy right out of you. So I am trying to raise my energy up, and I sing this either out loud. Those lyrics are such where I can sing Kiss God of Thunder out loud, and most people don't recognize the song. Or sing it in your head or whatever to keep your energy up. Music is a great way to work with energy. So, here goes.
You're gonna scare the cat.
I'm the Lord of the Wasteland, a modern day man of steel. I got the darkness to please me, and I command you to kneel before the God of Thunder and rock and roll. God of Thunder, man, Kiss. And see, I'm so energized after that.
Oh my god.
One of my dogs left the room, so. But yeah, you know, I'm sure my neighbor's like, what was that?
Oh my goodness.
My neighbors are pretty far away, but I bet they heard me.
Someone make me a drink.
I cannot sing it quietly.
I don't even know where we are now. I don't
Get
even know
up,
where we are.
everybody gonna leave their seats. Get down, everybody gonna leave their seats.
Oh my
Detroit,
goodness.
Fox City.
Okay. Cat just ran out.
Cat left. Dogs are like, what the hell?
Okay. Gosh.
We're working on the werewolf ears now.
Ezekiel says, I heard if Mariah Carey sings to her ALEXA, her garage door opens.
That's
Will you
funny.
be pulling the shark tonight?
No, the shark will not be ready to pull tonight. 12 hours.
Will you mount the shark on a foam helmet?
The first two sharks don't get that because people have already ordered them. So the first two sharks are both going to be different.
What are your plans for the shark mask? What are you going to use it for, or is it just a fun project?
Our theme at Dark Hour during October is going to be underwater. So we're going to have pirates and sea monsters and all that stuff. So we're going to use it at Dark Hour. And that's why I wanted to sculpt a shark. I had a use for it.
The Galadam looked heavy.
It's plaster. I mean, it's, you know, those molds don't mess around.
I can't even figure out who I am. You just
Did I throw you off your game, wife?
throw me off my game. It's just the chat just went nuts.
The chat went nuts.
Oh, Psycho Axe Man, you were too much. Says, that was cool. Oh my god, my ALEXA started singing a crazy ALEXA song.
So yeah, one of the problems that I have is that my brain, I have a very hard time going all the way through one song without switching into another song. Because one part reminds me of something else and then I just go right into it. The other day while I was live, I was singing, give me two, one for each hand, set sail for Captain Morgan, never reached dry land, troubles I forgot 'em, I buried 'em in the sand. And then my brain, I went right into, you know your man is working hard, he's worth a deuce, right into Kiss. And those do not go together, they shouldn't go together, but that's how my brain works. Something caused a bridge right there.
Psycho Axe Man, you're too much. Detroit Rock City.
Detroit, Rock City.
Dr. Love, that was wonderful. Loud, I want to sing it loud. Nice acapella, very bluesy voice there. AC/DC is a great motivation music. Connie
Yes.
Pierce says, that was awesome. East LA Yoga Warrior, that was cool.
For the record, not a singer.
Psycho Axeman, get up! Dirty Santa, rock on, Alan. Lanny Williams, awesome.
I'm sure that somewhere Ezekiel is crying.
And you said that you run through the show singing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I think like energy is down, then I'll start at the exit. I'll go in the back door, and I will sing "God of Thunder" until I run out of what I know of that, and then I will do. Who is that? I am smelling like a rose that somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed. Yeah. I am smelling like a rose that somebody gave me 'cause I'm dead and bloated. Yeah. Now see, I can't sing that. That was very. I'm not good quiet, and I didn't want to yell that one. But that's enough. I sing those two. Which I actually got that second song. Nick Herrera would sing at Skull Kingdom. That was his.
Running?
That was his running and singing and yelling song.
Oh my goodness. I like a little cattle decapitation for energy, says Plastic Ninja.
Well, whatever you're into.
Psycho's created a singer monster, says Bill Batchelor. Lot of geeks. Gotta introduce these youngins to good music. Plan on using a lot of good hair music in my haunt.
As you should.
I was Gene Simmons for Halloween in '78. I was 11. That's Lisa Aaron. That's
In
awesome.
'78. Nice. Nice.
And a female. Love it. Everyone's gonna get out of their seats. Psycho Axeman. Rock on, Alan. You did. Best performance by Alan today. You're a medley singer. What kind of motors do you recommend
You asked me that one already.
for props?
I like wiper motors mostly.
I love White Rabbit and planning on building a room specifically so I can blast it. Oh my goodness, that's a very good song.
White Rabbit? Who's that
White
by?
Rabbit. Grace Slick. Jefferson Starship. Or was it
Okay.
Jefferson Airplane at the time? I don't know. I wasn't born. But I will tell you that that is a crazy good song. And the version Pink does of that, Body Geeks, if you've heard Pink's version, is outstanding. But that's just a fantastic song. Psycho Axeman, see he's got skills. Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, that's who
Temple
that is.
Pilots.
Yes.
Okay, yes, STP. I love your singing. Says Ezekiel. Ezekiel liked it.
You know what?
If you're gonna sing and Ezekiel's on,
What? I'm not a good singer, but I'm a passionate singer.
I can't keep up. My go-to is "Who Do You Want to Be" by Oingo Boingo. Oh, it's good. Cool Max Allen, killing me, says Stacey Hawkins. Energy is contagious. Plastic Ninja. To be clear, that's a band. I don't decapitate livestock for energy.
Oh, White Rabbit's a band.
No,
Okay.
no. Plastic Ninja said for energy, he likes cattle decapitation.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Got it. Cattle decapitation,
No,
the
White
band.
Rabbit is a song.
Hey man, we're in Texas. Here, cattle decapitation, that's like a line of work.
Every day it happens. Any advice on selling original character masks? I've been selling masks of characters for movies for a while now, and I absolutely hate it. But my original character masks are not selling well. Any tips?
The collector's market is going to be movie based, okay? That's just how it is because they want to collect something that they know and they want to have a claim of familiarity to it. All that I can suggest for you to do is develop a sculpting style where someone can look at a sculpture and say, hey, that's an Alan Hops mask. I think Alan Hops sculpted that. And then look it up and be right. Because then they have started identifying your style with something, if that makes any sense. This is the best time to be selling your own work. I recommend a couple things. A, don't be a dick. That is always sound business advice that I give out all the time. And boy, Do you want to make things for clients, or do you want to make just what you want to make? Because if you just want to make what you want to make, then you're going to need to go to shows and sell at shows. Because no one is going to look for what you make on the internet right off the bat. But if you go to a show, they will see your items at the show and buy at shows. Do you sell at shows already? And by shows, I mean like Trans World, MHC. Those are haunted house shows. I'm a haunted house guy. That's what I know best. But I have sold at, places like Chiller Theater Horror Convention in Jersey. All those.
$0.99 from Tread MX204 BLXSS.
Tread MX, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Tread, what tipped you over the edge? What made you think we were worth, and I'm not even kidding here, $1 of your hard-earned money? What made you do that? I'm interested in your thoughts and opinions. And do you act in a haunted house? Do you work in a haunted house? Why are you watching this? You want to make masks? Okay, so I'm very happy with how this ears go. See the hair on that ear worked? I'm going to airbrush inside of that ear later, but right now, I'm happy.
MHC may wind up being with the new phases rolling out. MHC may wind up happening with the new phases rolling out.
It may. You never know.
I want you to see.
I hope it does. I actually have a lot of stuff to make if I'm doing MHC.
Alan, you should have sung some Ozzy, Bark at the Moon. Lisa, all right. Are you coming to New Jersey in the future?
I used to train at a haunted house in New Jersey called Corner of Chaos, but I don't think that haunt is anymore. I'm not sure. Right now, I don't have plans to train in New Jersey. I think the closest to that would be Kalamazoo, Michigan. Us being Texas-based.
Selling at shows is unfortunately not an option for me. I can't travel. I can message you on Facebook and show you some of my original characters, and you can give me some advice. It's Nightmare Fuel Studio.
Sure, I'm more than happy to.
Are there any shows in or near Pennsylvania that you are traveling to? PA.
This year, no. This year, there is not. So, every day, I end up doing about maybe 10 to 20 sculpt critiques where people send me sculptures or whatever. So I'm more than happy to do that. I don't charge anything, just, I will critique your sculpture. I'm not a super awesome sculptor, but I'm okay. And I know how to get better. I can't always do it myself because of time constraints or whatever. But I'm a coach, so I'm more than happy to help anybody. Horror Beauty, sadly, our trip to Kalamazoo was actually postponed until next year because with all this, they're not going to open their haunted house that they were going to open. It has been a very trying year for shows.
You should do a whole song about a moving jaw werewolf. It would be killer, says Ezekiel.
So I actually wrote a Halloween-themed Christmas song,
And he put music to it.
and I sent it to Ezekiel, and he actually did the music for it and sang it, and it is pretty awesome. This year, closer to Christmas time, I'm going to put that out because I think we got on it like last year around October. And I don't know what's going to happen with it or what I'm going to do with it, but I thought the world could use more Halloween Christmas songs.
Treat MX 204 BLXSS, who said 99 cents, says, I don't know, man, you seem like a very cool guy and gentle.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Dead end yard hawk. Is that clear silicone caulking? It looks white on the camera.
This is it's clear it's what they call clear. They say it's clear, but it's not 100% clear. It's translucent, but it's not opaque. And the thinner you get it, the clearer it is. Okay, so now with this guy, I need to do a couple of those layers that are cut off and blend this hairline into the top.
I like making scarecrows, jack-o'-lanterns, skin snakes, and stuff in that kind of realm. But I make a little bit of everything spooky. That is Nightmare Fuel Studios.
Cool.
I am Hot Frog, just ordered Transworld Dynamic Haunted House Attraction Design.
Cool.
Says, I am trying to improve the videos I do on my YouTube channel. Thank you for the inspiration. Hello, Art Lady Blunser.
Who said that they're trying to improve their YouTube?
I am Hot Frog.
Cool. What kind of videos do you do?
Horror Beauty says, you come to Kalamazoo, I better hear about it. Well, Horror Beauty, it will be in August of 2021 now.
Yeah, they pushed back.
We moved it to the next year, but brand new show we're working with. Classic Ninja says, I appreciate your name, Hot Frog. And Hot Frog says, thank you. It usually goes over people's heads.
Well, we have the right crowd for you, my
this
friend.
crowd got it. Well, I better hear about it 2021. It'll be worth coming downstate for sure.
Come see us.
Nightmare Fuel Studios. I'll message you later tonight or tomorrow if you prefer. I really want to get away from making replicas because I don't want to be as because I don't get as creative as I'd like to be. I'm burned out from making the same mess.
And it's not your work. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's a rough existence.
I am Hot Frog says Werewolf 2.0.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Is I'm making a werewolf toupee.
Ezekiel says we should do a werewolf song. Let's write some lyrics. Josh Jones, if you're looking for a great show over the East Coast, you should come check out GooCon here in Atlanta, where I am. It usually happens in May, and it's a great panel show you probably do.
Cool.
Horror Beauty says it dries clear.
It does dry clear.
Breaking the class is nice. Everyone needs a break. You're welcome, Horror Beauty. I do mostly parodies and stuff. I did a video of Dr. Phil beating up a guest, says I am Hot Frog. I do both parts of green screen. I'm still learning. I work full time to take care of a sick wife, and YouTube is what I do instead of drinking to unwind.
Hooray! Hooray to the not drinking.
Yeah. Oh, we got a thumbs down. There you go.
Dang it, Hot Frog. What the heck? Okay. Now I'm just using the popsicle stick to grab a few hairs and kind of move them forward. All right. So now it is a matter of, you know what, I'm going to do 2 in there for that. This is the first time I've used this type of hair on this mask.
Do you know the name of the Kalamazoo Haunted House? I don't think it has a name yet. It's brand new.
I don't know its name right
No,
now.
I don't think it has a name yet. It's brand
It
new.
involves nightmares.
Brand new. I don't know if it even has one. Shannon, I think Alan needs a Coke Zero. What?
Yeah, who
No,
said
he
that?
does not. It doesn't matter.
I like that
It
person.
doesn't matter.
I should give them $1.
I donated another $1 if you didn't see it. Thank you, Tree MX204.
That's so kind. Thank you. Truly.
As I stirred the pot from the other night. He did. He thought I wasn't watching. It's going to be the same person do the thumbs down because you never get any more from one.
Yeah, I only ever
You're
get
right.
one. I get
It's
one
person.
thumbs down.
Okay.
But it's so weird though. But you know what? I see that if they come across this channel and they don't know who I am or what I'm doing, and I'm no one special. Let's be real. You know, it may not be their cup of tea. Maybe it's a haunt clown that I insulted once, and he just, waits for me to go live so he can give me a thumbs down and exact his sweet, sweet revenge.
I saw the shoes on him.
All right, so now, I don't like that. That's better.
Yeah. He snuck around and thought I was watching on that. It's too many Coke Zeros.
I think there wasn't enough picture.
That looks amazing. It really does. Says pop, I am pop frog.
I think it's going to work out. Now I get an airbrush. I'm going to airbrush the hairline, and that's going to do other things. That's going to help blend it in a little more seamlessly.
Lucky 2001 says, "Are you the one that sneaked on Alan, Stephen Whiskey?" He said, "Guys, I will tell you that was nothing more than just karma timing that I happened to just glance on for a second."
Or are you just protecting your snitch?
I saw that just at the right time. So he thought you guys were snitching on him, but the truth is that it was karma. He happened to look on, and I had to go. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Psycho X-Man would like his moving draw werewolf to be grayish.
Gray. Okay, we can do it. Not gray, grayish.
Grayish.
We'll do gray. Gray's a good color.
Took me forever to realize that Biddy was bricking the yard.
Sorry, I'm not the best explainer-rater.
A Diet Coke and a full of M&Ms.
Woohoo! I'm going to use carburetor cleaner. When I use carburetor cleaner, I wear gloves.
That is one sexy mask, said Lisa. All right.
Why?
Rodney Coat, Horror Beauty. I was thinking somebody Alan knows is messing with him. Guys, nobody snitched. That was just lucky timing.
You would, though, protect your skin.
Could you use a lighter color on the hair?
I could, sure.
How have you ever been to Six Flags over Texas Pride Fest?
I have been to Six Flags over Texas Pride Fest. I enjoyed it because I enjoy haunted houses.
Just saw a movie poster for a movie called Killer Sofa. Don't sit on the front.
I have seen that, and I don't think there'll be a guy in a monster suit in it, so I'm not watching it.
Clowns love you too. You are special to us. Since you are using this hair for the first time, How do you feel about using this as opposed to the regular hair you use?
Now I use this hair all the time, but I haven't used it on this mask per se. You know, every time you see me use an airbrush, I have to clean it first, so I didn't clean it last time. Well, that's what we're doing now with our lives. Okay, that's coming out of there pretty good. But that is mostly carburetor cleaner. I'm not going to spray this on the mask. It's a very harsh chemical. I'm using it to clean the airbrush. Now, and I'm using it to make the airbrush functional because the airbrush is not going to get cleaned. Well, because I'm using black. This is the reason why I'm not really cleaning it per se.
Do you use copper in your haunt for airline supplies? I've been reading about how a lot of auto repair shops are using PEX for supply line.
PEX pipe, shark bite. A lot of haunts use shark bite or PEX pipe, yes. In our haunted house, no. Our whole haunted house was professionally plumbed. We have a ridiculous air compressor in our haunt. Okay, so that was the carburetor cleaner. Now I'm going to spray some alcohol in this to get the carburetor cleaner out of it. For the record, I kept alcohol in a spray bottle before it was cool. Now everybody's doing it for sanitation. We are hitting the top chat tonight. Thomas R., thank you very much. I appreciate it. I also appreciate it that you said, that you implied I look like a starving artist.
Huh.
I am down 50 pounds, by the way. I used to be really fat.
Alan, I'm interested in going to Monster Camp. What are the dates? Is it posted on your website?
Monster Camp dates are not posted on the website. Are they? Honey, can you come here behind the camera and explain about Monster Camp?
Oh my goodness, I have so many amazing. Gregory Haynes, hello. Okay, so here's what we have going for Monster Camp. Actually, this weekend should be Monster Camp 5, but we have added dates in the late summer to try and accommodate in hopes that things will have loosened up and allowed us to have Monster Camp rather than cancel it. So we have dates in August and September that we have moved Monster Camp 5 and 6, which 6 was our May Monster Camp. And we are watching to see how many people are going to move the date. Actually, it's for May because April has already, we've already moved them. And there
That was supposed to be this weekend.
That was supposed to be happening right now. We should technically be doing Monster Camp right now. But point is that there may be spots in August and September. Depending on, first we have to see the Monster Camp students that we have already enrolled, see are they going to just try some other time or are they going to roll forward and postpone.
Most of them have given us an answer. We just have to kind of compile it.
So please be patient with us as we are waiting to see if we have some vacancies. We keep Monster Camp classes very small, maybe 6 to 8 students, maybe 9, but we keep it small because we like to have a very intimate class so that you get that personal attention. And it's just the smart way to teach this. So as soon as we know more and we know for sure whether or not, these dates are going to happen or whatever, we will be letting people know on our Facebook and Instagram and on our website.
Filthy Studios on Facebook.
On Facebook, Instagram, and on our website. We will be getting word out if there are spots to fill, so hang
I
tight.
always share it on my personal Facebook, but the best way to find out is our Filthy Studios Facebook. Now I have my airbrush working. And this is Pinata ink. I'm going to go in here.
Relax, man. I don't see the light. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Zach, hello. We're just talking to our guys about the amazing air system at dark hour.
And you can use the airbrush to kind of fill in the hairline and soften that edge.
Zach, relax, man. I have got a note on there for you. We got it.
And this hair is a hair lighter than what's on this down here, but they do match up pretty good, and I hit it with the airbrush just a bit. And I can darken that, put in some dark spots.
Stacy said, Zach, isn't it cool? The first time I ever walked through, I was like, you can drop air anywhere. Sweet. Lucky 2001. If you had to leave dark hour to work in a different haunt, do you have one in mind you could see yourself staying at, or would you just travel once for a while?
So what I would probably do, all right, is I would break up my haunt season a bit, and I'd break up my haunt season a bit and visit a lot of the wonderful shows that we've gotten to train at, but we haven't actually seen open. Like, we train at Woods of Terror in North Carolina every year, but I've never seen them open. I would love to see their show. And how I think that would work is I'd pile up the van with a bunch of people, and we'd all go and hopefully guest act or play at their show. So that's my hairline taken care of, and it just makes it smoother. It's a smoother transition. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some 5-minute epoxy. We're going to do the teeth and the nose. I'm going to grab an acid brush, because that's what I normally use for this. Hey, buddy.
When you use that silicone, does it keep its gloss, or does it completely disappear?
It has a little bit of a gloss, but I put enough gloss on other places on the. I give the werewolves a bit of a shine anyway, so it's going to blend in. I like their skin to be a little glistening.
You can tell you've lost weight. Good on you, Alan.
Lord, I'm trying. Now, I did fall off the wagon, and I did have my pizza that I talked about last, 2 nights ago?
Last night.
No, more or less.
Tonight, Saturday, we had pizza last night. We had pizza for breakfast this morning.
Okay. Last night. Last night, I had a little bit of a break, but my body kind of needs a reset. This is just Harbor Freight 5-minute epoxy. I'm putting in a little cup.
I really would decide that I'm the one starving. Clients are spending all their money on toilet paper. Folks are not spending the way they used to.
Well, I appreciate your, what kind of art do you do? I appreciate your super chat donation.
So after you run carburetor cleaner through your airbrush, you then run IPA at the percent. What carburetor cleaner strip? Would carburetor cleaner strip the chrome?
It will absolutely strip the chrome off your airbrush. Yes, it will strip the chrome. I use a Pache H. It's not a very expensive airbrush. You know, but I still am careful with it. Okay, that's my 5-minute epoxy. I'm going to stir it with the backside of this charger. Well, we're pretty close on this, honey. Because it's almost, we'll probably be done by 10:30 tonight, just so you guys know.
For the Museum of Science, we use alcohol, dye, and spray bottles for water effects. That is Tuckworks.
Cool.
I was going to punch the hair in my moving draw you sent me.
More power to you.
After seeing that, it looks awesome doing it that way.
Hair punching is not for me, man. It's so time consuming and tedious. I can't. I just cannot.
Psycho Axeman wants his werewolf snotty.
Yes.
What's an acid brush?
This is an acid brush. It's just a type of paintbrush. They sell them in like packs of 50. I think they use them in body shops. And it's a little chemical brush. It's just a nice. It's like chip brush has a name. This is another named type of brush.
How did you get into keto diet? I don't know. You based me off of the scientific formula.
I just like to eat meat, and I don't like vegetables. So I wanted the diet that I can stick with, and I've done this one a couple times before, and that's how I came on keto. I mean, it's not. I'm not smart.
Hair punching sucks.
You are. Whoever said that, I agree with you 100%.
That was hard to do. You got 4 minutes now, and it is 10:26 for you guys.
Yeah, and I'm really close. I mean, you can see I'm whipping this on here. This is getting thicker. See it steaming a little bit? That chemical reaction is happening.
What's the frame? Secrets exposed.
What?
You can see me.
Who can? Oh, okay.
Hello.
There. Now you
I don't-
cannot see the
I
white.
don't mind you guys seeing me. It's okay.
You should be like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Home Improvement?
I think that was the name.
I don't mind you guys seeing me. This is more like, instead of having distractions in the background, it's better that you learn with one person.
Okay, so now see.
You are okay to see me. I do not mind.
The 5-minute epoxy is already kicked. I mean, they say 5 minutes. They're not lying.
I was going to add. Oh, I want you to.
It's also really hot. Make it snotty.
He's pretty.
He is pretty.
That Dracula's helmet back there.
Yes, it is.
Larry Hughes says tool time. That's right, tool time.
Tool time with Tim Taylor and Al Borland.
Cool, finally caught you live. I want to thank you guys for doing all the live videos. I've been watching them while I sew journals, and they really helped during all this.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is the Goblin Trader.
So what I need to do is I need to airbrush inside of the ear with a little bit of pink. My other airbrush right now has black in it, so it would take so long to change from black to pink, it would be bad time-wise.
I always say that to my family when they ask what do you want to do. What do I do? I'm sorry. What do I do? Whatever anyone wants.
Okay.
From high-end gun carving on gun stocks to props for food restaurants, watercolor paintings, metal fabrication, forge casting, blah, 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 you know.
That's awesome. But that also, it's hard to market yourself when you literally do everything. That actually makes it harder to market yourself. Yes, you can do any job, but it's harder, you know, to get known among all the groups of people.
Thanks, guys. I don't mind being seen. It's not a matter of not wanting to be seen. We're just trying to keep distraction down from what he's showing. And less people in the background mean less distraction. I am not hiding from. Hi, guys. Hello. Hello, everyone. It's more in now and just do it. Just like that.
Cool.
I have been experimenting with an auto hair punching gun made from an old tax-free machine. It's not bad if you turn it way down, but my scale is 1/6 to 1/4, and I use nylon or alpaca hair. That's
Neat.
kind of fascinating.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd love to see that in action.
How much longer are you going to be on tonight?
I'll probably stop shortly after 10:30. So, I'll now teach you a very important mixing technique called the zombie snail. I want to mix these two colors together. It's magenta and white. Palm of the hand, thumb. These two fingers go down to hold. This is a zombie snail. And now it's mixed up. And I want more white. It's blanco. Wife, what is your cocktail for the evening? Someone implied you're having wine.
I'm not having one.
What was your cocktail?
Hang on. Hang on just a second.
She was about to ask me something. I messed her up.
No, I'm not watching cat videos, Ezekiel. I am not. Have you ever done a skinwalker?
I have done a skinwalker. I like skinwalkers.
No, Ezekiel, I was having a little bit of vodka on the rocks.
Just vodka on the rocks.
Just a bit.
Because I did not make her a martini.
No, Alan makes the best martinis ever. Psycho Axeman says, yes, Slayer. Keep Baldwin. I really don't like live posts. It's like watching paint dry, but you two are so entertaining. Thanks.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thomas R. Well, my batteries are telling me to leave soon. Thanks for all you do. Good night, Thomas R.
It's because sometimes on our live feeds, you literally are watching paint dry. A lot of time it's contact cement, but that is... All right, so this is Tank.
Stacy, it was not, it was a little dirty, yes. I had a little bit of olive juice in there, just because I don't bring glass into the shop. So just a little bit of something to break in the day. Oh, Jesus, cat videos. I'm not watching any cat videos. I don't know why I keep getting into that. Cheers, Zach.
He watches a lot of cat videos.
Now I want some whiskey. Thanks, guys. Go ahead and use some whiskey, Harvey. Stacy, Alan is helling out on you. He is. Alan does not drink, yet he makes the best dirty martinis in the history of man. So, very nice to do a martini. Alan didn't make it, and I'm sorry, it is subpar compared to his. He doesn't even.
What I haven't done is tease all this hair out yet. When I tease all this hair, I'm waiting for this silicone to cure up a little more. That takes about an hour. So I'll do that tomorrow. But the mask is painted, the mask is haired. If you look inside the ears, a bit of magenta in there now. Yeah. when this is all teased out, his ears will get a little longer, his face will get a little wider. But yeah, that's the werewolf. And we did the other one over here, which is the Wolfman 2020. I'll bring him over. We'll have a convention.
Where do you get the side cups for the Pache?
I get them from Pache.com. So Wolfman 2020 and the werewolf, moving jaw werewolf. Both of those guys got done tonight. Remember I said that the carburetor cleaner was a rather intense chemical. I didn't want to spray it on the mask. Everywhere I sprayed it on this head form, it ate into the styrofoam when I was cleaning the airbrush. So I mean, it's no joke. Okay, so everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight and for watching. We poured up the Megalodamned. We poured up Megalodamned, and we haired 2 werewolves.
Show Body Geeks which one is this.
This is you, Body Geeks, right there. Yes, yes. And this goes right down into the brown. It's kind of a brown and black werewolf suit. So yeah.
Hello, Bill. I guess I'm going to have to start making appearances because this is, I'm like the light next to my like a talker. Good night,
All right.
Stacy.
Wife, say good night.
Good night.
Good night, and go make stuff.